From Big Frog 104 with the perfect solution for your manufactured or mobile home problems. John's Mobile Home Parts and Accessories in Oriskany.
And improve quality of life across the 23rd District and all of Oneida County. This election, I respectfully ask for your vote so we can keep our community moving forward. I'm Michael Gentile, and I'm proud to serve you.
Some firsts you'd like to leave in the rearview mirror. Other firsts are life-changing. 90 years ago, Nokian tires changed driving with our first, the invention of the winter tire. Today, we're still the leader in winter driving with more than 100 patents and 200 days of testing in the Arctic every year. Winter is our first love. Make winter safety your first priority. Nokian tires. First things first. Visit Tolman's Tire and Auto Repair in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, or online at tolmanstire.com.
Hey, Central New York, this is Will Kane of The Will Kane Show, and you can now hear my show every weekday at WIBX. I do things a little differently when I'm behind the microphone because I turn it over to the listeners to learn and really dig into the issues that impact everyday Americans. The Will Kane Show lets you keep ahead of the headlines and understand what's really going on in the world with in-depth discussions from leading experts and the brightest minds. From politics to sports, nothing is off topic. Listen to The Will Kane Show weekdays at 6, only on WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Brandy and Jody are in here this morning from ICANN. Ladies, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. So we are reaching that time of year.
We sure are. It's kind of
fast.
Weird to be here in, like, you know, the pumpkin earrings and the fall attire and talking about the holidays.
When it was just 80 degrees like 2 weeks ago.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's crazy. So explain, this is their 24th year of Adopt a Family. Yes. Explain what we're doing here.
Yes. So ICANN Adopt a Family has been going on since 2001. Basically started it just to make sure that our kids that we were serving back then had a little bit more when they woke up in the morning of whatever holiday they celebrated, right? So we got together with a couple of different businesses in the area and decided to get them some Christmas gifts, some holiday gifts, and it's grown tremendously since then. So this year, obviously ICANN's grown tremendously since then, right? So back in 2001 when we started the program, we were serving maybe 50 families, right? And we serve now over 2,500 individuals every day. Yeah. So we want to meet the needs of those families just as well as we did back when we were a smaller agency. So
how many now?
Over 2,500 individuals a day at ICANN,
A day.
At any given day, we're serving that many folks.
And the services you guys, there's a multitude of services. So I'm assuming this program grabs from all of those for those people that are in need.
Yes. So the families who received the gifts from Adopt a Family, they are children and families that our workers work directly with in our programs.
Okay.
And what's nice about it is that, you know, we serve and provide them support through Adopt a Family for the holiday season for the folks that we work with. But we know that if we're taking care of those that we support at ICANN, that we are helping the rest of the community be freed up to use the services in the community that there are. You know, we know that there's services in the community that help folks at the holiday, but if we're doing our part at ICANN to make sure that those that we serve are supported by our program, then we know that others can go and use this community supports that are out there in the community as well. So that's kind of our part.
So how does this work? Does someone assign a family? You pick a family on your own? Tell us.
Yes. So our coordinators at ICANN identify their families that have the most need. They have a handful of lists. They meet directly with their families. These lists are very individualized. So we love all of the toy donations, those toy drives that are out there, but these lists are very specific to what the kids want and need. So we have these adorable wish lists. We have sort of like a fun play on ICANN. There's 4 different gift categories. So one is something I can play with, something I can learn with, something I can be cozy in, and something that I can use. Okay. So it's nice that kids get both wants and needs. So the idea is that each child gets minimally 4 gifts.
And how many family sponsors are you looking for?
So last year we served 400 families in the program, nearly 1,000 individuals. So we brought in over 4,000 gifts into our community of folks that we serve. This year we're looking to double our shoppers. We've grown so much, but we've stayed in between that 350 to 400 families, and we would love to increase that more because we serve, obviously I just told you, upwards of 2,500 individuals a day, right? So we really want to double our shoppers. We would love for people to come in and do the shopping for us, get a wish list, get together with a bunch of friends or with your family, or do it alone, have businesses go in. What's kind of cool about this is it doesn't necessarily have to be the business money that's being utilized. What we have a lot of folks do is get the staff together, right? And the staff of an agency or a business can get together, do this as a little engagement activity with each other, team building, and then they can shop for a family and bring it to us. So it's really a cool opportunity to get together with folks and then kind of pay something forward.
Okay, I love what you guys as a group are doing. You're filling many voids, and it's greatly needed. And this is just a great example of that. If somebody wants to get involved, just go to the website.
Absolutely. So if anybody wants to get involved with Adopt a Family program, if folks are looking for services and supports, if you would like to donate to us, anything, ican.family. If you go to events on our website, you'll find the Adopt a Family program. There's contact us forms on the website, so you can fill that out. It actually goes directly to me, and I'll make sure that somebody gets in touch with you.
Okay.
Or you can just call us, 315-792-9039.
Okay, good stuff. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much for having us.
For again, that's ICAN, ICAN.family, and then click on events.
Yes.
And hard to believe Thanksgiving is like 3 weeks away.
Yeah. Crazy.
All right, thank you.
Hey everyone, it's Lisa from Fit Body Boot Camp in Whitesboro and Clinton. Life can be tough, full of judgment and negativity, but for 30 minutes a day, you can forget all that and focus on yourself. Just like one of our members, Irene, who mentions that everyone's cheering for each other, pushing through the sweat, the tough moments, and even the stuff that feels a little sucky. Irene also mentions finding the strength, the confidence, and a real fitness family here is outstanding. Come join us, embrace the challenge, and find your fitness home at Fit Body Boot Camp in Whitesboro and Clinton, where real support meets real results.
Some morning sunshine, 40 degrees. Good morning, I'm Jeff Manaski. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time is 6:29. This news update is brought to you by the Stanley Center for the Arts. The Oneida County Sheriff's Office has identified the driver killed in a one-vehicle crash in the town of Lee on Sunday evening. 19-year-old Owen Smith was killed after his vehicle went off the road and collided head-on with a tree. A hiker was found safe after slipping down a ravine on the Black River Environmental Improvement Association trail system in Boonville. That happened around 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon. Authorities say the hiker, a 42-year-old man with special needs, became separated from his mother after slipping. His mother called 911 for help, and he was later safely located. Utica Police Fire Units dispatched to a home on the 1400 block of Genesee Street regarding an argument and a fight involving a rock. Authorities say they spoke to the victim, who accused another female of striking her in the face with a rock after getting into an argument. Those actions caused a laceration and significant swelling. Following the altercation, the suspect then left the scene. Authorities have now charged 34-year-old Melissa Snyder of Utica with second-degree assault. She was transported to the Utica Police Department to face those charges. Syracuse University starts the season off with a big victory. They defeated Binghamton 85-47 at the JMA Wireless Dome. Donnie Freeman led the Orange with 20 points on 7 of 11 shooting, while also grabbing a team-high 6 rebounds. Of course, today is Election Day. We are broadcasting live from the Marlog in East Utica. It's a special Joe Time edition. The polls are open. Voting locations are open and will stay open until 9 tonight. Check your local Board of Elections for your specific voting location. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time is 6:31. Here's a look at your forecast.
A bit unsettled as we continue to push on through early this morning. Maybe a couple of leftover showers. Otherwise, sunshine, clouds, and a gusty west breeze today. Low 50s. Tonight, partial clouds, mid-30s. Colder in the Adirondacks. Rain chances going up tomorrow afternoon, up into the mid-50s. Rain tomorrow night. Showers around early Thursday. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Right now, cloudy skies and 40 degrees. It is 6:32. Good morning, Bill.
I will say that it is a little warmer than it was yesterday.
Absolutely.
Not that 40 feels good, but it feels better than 30.
Yes, sir.
29. It is. We're live from Marlog today, and Senator Joe Griffo. It's Joe time, is what we call it, and the senator is here with us this morning. Here on Election Day. Joe, good morning.
Good morning. Beautiful day out there, actually. Driving in, I said it was such a beautiful sunrise when you looked at it. And actually, it was kind of like a divide. I saw the sun rising on one side and then these dark clouds on another. It looked like I was coming into Gotham.
Yeah, it does have that look. You know, we're in the middle of I'll have to see which moon it is, but it's a special moon that is coming up tomorrow night. Maybe harvest, maybe supermoon, some sort of a supermoon, where the moon is closest to the Earth, closer than it is all year long. So as long as the skies are clear, tomorrow you'll see quite a large.
It's the beaver moon.
It's the beaver moon. That's right.
Beaver and moon, and it's kind of an interesting combination, right?
It is, just a little bit. So, Joe, today is Election Day, and at least for us here, we're really looking at a lot of judicial races that are big. Obviously, there are a few local races, including the comptroller, but this judicial race is important.
Yeah, absolutely, particularly because things are going to be changing. If you remember this year, there was legislation passed that will change all these judicial districts. And again, unfortunately, I think it was done to kind of try to slant this thing one way or another towards a particular political affiliation. With the Democrat majorities now, they really restructured this where it gives them an advantage because Onondaga County will now be, after this race, there'll be another race. And the next time, Onondaga will be by itself, and Oneida will be with several counties moving west, almost out to Seneca County.
Yeah.
Which I think in the end, Oneida County will be the most populous area, so it will help when you're trying to select judges, but it makes it a little more difficult. So judicial races, New York State Supreme Court, 4 of them opening this year. We have some local people running. I think there's Judge Amoroso, obviously, from Oneida County is running. Several incumbents that are running. Judge McCluskey, I think so, but it's contested, so it's 4 on 4.
There are 8 candidates at 4 seats available.
Yes,
so
8 candidates, 4 seats.
Talk a little more about that. We have a whole bunch to get to, and that New York City race is going to be very, very interesting to watch.
We talked about Gotham, as I indicated as I was coming in, and this is going to be a big day down in this Big Apple, and we have a couple of people calling us from the city, from the Bronx, actually, on both sides. And it'll be interesting to see what they're saying is taking place on the ground. They have a high turnout pre-vote there. I think it's the largest in New York City's history, early voting.
Let me go to Ryan Schmelz with Fox News Radio. Of course, with all of this going on, I do think... what's that? Oh, really?
Wow.
Okay, is that breaking news? Wow. We're told that Dick Cheney has died. Ryan Schmelz, good morning.
Yes, we have a statement from Dick Cheney, or his family, I should say, saying that he has, in fact, passed away at the age of 84. So this was this is a pretty big story now. So, this is something we did not expect this morning, and now it's here.
Yeah, here on Election Day, a day when those in Congress, I can't believe they won't be looking at what happens today and how the voters react today when it comes to, by the way, tomorrow breaks the record for the longest ever shutdown.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine they're not looking at this. And, of course, news like this overshadows all of that.
It certainly can. Obviously, the government shutdown is still going to be here. So is the election and all that. We'll see how this cycle kind of plays itself out. But obviously, the death of a former vice president, it's always going to be a moment that kind of time stands still for at least a period of time. And obviously, there's going to be a mourning time and all that, and then the logistics of all that will get worked out. But obviously,
it is very interesting. This is a vice president who was a very active vice president. Of course, served under George W. Bush. Very active. He's also been very vocal when it comes to the current president, and oftentimes quite critical of the current president. So it is interesting to. He was not just a guy who, oftentimes we talk about the vice presidential role, who's just quiet and goes
wallpaper in the background,
goes to the ribbon cuttings, and that's about it. That was not Dick Cheney.
No, he was very active behind the scenes. He was obviously a very active vice president just in general. He held a lot of jobs in presidential administrations before he became the vice president, and one thing that stands out, too, is that he's probably one of the few vice presidents in recent administrations who did not eventually run for president himself. I mean, I'm trying to think of vice presidents who didn't actually run for president. Going back, Joe Biden ran, Mike Pence ran. Before that,
Mondale ran. Yeah. I think you have to go back. I think you have to go back to Nixon. Where none of his vice presidents could run. They ended up in trouble, and then of course Gerald Ford was by default was made president. So that is certainly very interesting. So, all right, Ryan, we'll see where all of this takes us. But today we tie the longest ever government shutdown at 35 days, and tomorrow it seems likely that we'll be breaking a record tomorrow.
It's a little surreal, that we kind of always talked about how these shutdowns were. We avoided it so many times leading up to this one, and then it finally happened, and now we're sitting here like, oh wow, okay. All of a sudden, it's the longest government shutdown in history. It's just a little surreal that we avoided it so many times, and now we're at this point where it's here.
Yeah, here we are. So, all right, Ryan, as always, we appreciate it. Thank you, and we'll talk again tomorrow.
It sounds like a plan. Thank you, my friend.
All right. Thanks, Ryan Schmelz with Fox News Radio. We'll take a quick break and come back to Marlog. That's where we are this morning. Feel free to come in, have a little breakfast, a little little cup of Joe time. It's we've been doing these Joe time events for, I don't know, 7-8 years now?
Yes, even more, actually. Started this back in probably 2003. So,
okay. All right.
2004. But thanks to Johnny Marafa and his crew here at the Marlog, this is becoming an election day kind of. They expect
it is.
Every year we're here now.
Yeah.
So, and they already got some people in the doors.
So feel free to come on over, have a little breakfast before whatever it is that you're doing today, and come in and say hi. The other part of this is you're always here if a constituent has an issue. Sometimes they're not even your constituents, but they have an issue, and you're willing to really look into these things for the people of this area. So
yeah, it's been great. People do come in. Some want to go on the air. Many don't want to go on the air. I have Alex Gerald here from our staff who is also willing to talk to people. But yeah, you're right, Bill. We've had a lot of people that have come and taken advantage of this. So that was the concept. Come to a place like a coffee shop where people, or a restaurant in the morning where they feel comfortable and they're going to give their opinion or bring a problem to your attention. It's been very successful. Again, I want to thank you and Jeff and WIBX for being here too, because people that can't get here can listen and actually interact also.
Some people say we are unlistenable. Not talking about you, Joe, but us.
Yeah, they say some say the worst.
The worst. The
worst.
They say we've never heard anything so bad, quite so bad.
They haven't.
These are bad guys, very bad guys. These are not good people.
I talked about Gotham looking this morning. I'd call you two the dynamic duo.
Yeah, all right. When I come back, I want to ask you, about you've been traveling the world, so I haven't been able to pin you down on this. I wanted to ask you about this. At the end of the year, we're going to be going into a new phase of energy in New York State. At the end of the year, a new law will go into effect that any new construction is going to require no fossil fuels, meaning you can't install natural gas into a home. However, the last time we had Marianne Buttonshaw on, she dropped a bomb. And I want to talk about that and clarify it coming right up here with Senator Joe Griffo. Hold tight. We are at 6:41 on Tuesday, Election Day. Make sure you get out there and vote. We're coming right back to the Marlog next on WIBX.
It's
Davey, you
Lisa
said
from
it. We're sounding okay?
in Whitesboro and Clinton. Life can be tough, full of judgment and negativity. But for 30 minutes a day, you can forget all that and focus on yourself. Just like one of our members, Irene,
a special touch that
everyone's cheering for each other, pushing through the sweat, the tough moments, and even the stuff that feels a little sucky. Irene also mentions finding the strength, the confidence, and a real fitness family here is outstanding. Come join us, embrace the challenge, and find your fitness home at Fit Body Bootcamp in Whitesboro and Clinton, where real support meets real results.
Which room is next for you? The bedroom? Your kitchen? The living room? Hi, this is Kira Meelan from Meelan's Carpet One. What's holding back that next home project? Is it budget? We have flooring choices for any budget and financing options available. Maybe it's inspiration. If so, come and talk to our experienced design team. We're here to help you get unstuck. Maybe you're putting off redoing a room because you're worried about spills and accidents. Whether it's a pet in training or a growing family, we have flooring solutions that can withstand anything life has to throw at it. We have incredibly durable tile options and 100% water-resistant carpeting that's both beautiful and practical. We have options that inspire, designers who will help bring it all together, and always a beautiful installation. To get the perfect flooring, start with the right flooring store. Visit Meelan's Carpet One on Commercial Drive East in Yorkville.
It's open enrollment for Medicare Part D. Kinney Drugs offers a free online tool to compare plans based on your specific prescriptions. Or call 844-653-5063 to compare plans and enroll right over the phone.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go. And that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Celebrating 100 years. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
We'll talk about that. All right,
I'm making sure he knew we were on.
Oh, we are on. We are on. Good morning. Live from Grand Poobah Central, the Marlog. And here he is, Senator Joe Griffo. It's Joe time, where this morning we are here on Election Day. There's a couple of things to get into. Big news to talk about. Obviously, the election. There's some big races here locally to chat about. Of course, we had the alert that came down yesterday afternoon from Morrisville College, SUNY Morrisville, and there was an active shooter. Sometimes you just don't know to verify these things, and quickly we learned this was a real thing. Students were, in some cases, locked down until after 8 o'clock last night, depending on where they were located. Daycare centers along the college campus, parents weren't able to get their kids until after 5 p.m. Ultimately, one person was shot. The alert that I saw was that they were unable to take the time to bring in a helicopter to transport to Syracuse, so they did it via ambulance. And he is being treated. The victim is a 20-year-old non-student, not a student at Morrisville, who has been treated at SUNY Upstate for non-life-threatening injuries after he was shot in the neck. We're hearing maybe 2 suspects, but right now we have no word on whether or not police have anyone in custody.
Oh, that you're very accurate. I had the opportunity as soon as it happened, was able to speak to the university as well as to SUNY Central and law enforcement. And initially, obviously, there's concern because there's an unknown factor there when you have a shooting.
Yeah.
But ultimately, they were able to assess the situation and to determine that there wasn't a threat to the campus. It was something specific to individuals that were involved. It took place in a dorm in South Hall. The other dorm adjacent to that was also closed. Those were kept closed for a longer period than the campus when the campus opened up. Obviously, there's a lot of concern from students and family. I think they did a good job communicating. University police began their investigation and working the situation. State police came in and became the lead agency at that as soon as that was all done. I know the major was on scene there last night.
Yeah.
And I think, as you had indicated, right now preliminarily, and there is still an ongoing investigation. The student that was shot was taken to Upstate. The reason I believe, though, the helicopter wasn't used was because of the weather. It was the winds and everything last night.
That wind was terrific, yeah.
And then he was transported to Upstate Medical Center. He is a non-student. I believe there's potentially 2 other people of interest at this point. One may be a non-student also. The other may be a student. So all of that will be, I think we'll get more information today. Thankfully, nobody was...
It's one of those schools that's very tight-knit. You're down there, and, I mean, while it's not that far from Utica, it's a world away, if you will, if you're a student without a vehicle. And so it makes for a very tight-knit campus. So this was pretty difficult for, I think, everybody to deal with. Obviously, anytime there's a shooting. And then you see the stuff on social media with parents who have kids who go to school there, all panicking yesterday when this alert first came out. You literally saw students sending messages out on social media to their parents, we're locked down, we're okay.
Yeah, particularly
so
when
scary.
you consider what's taking place nationally,
Yeah.
and people see this and begin to immediately have that apprehension and concern, which is understandable. But fortunately, as I said, I believe that the university police as well as the state police got the situation under control. Madison County Sheriff's Department involved. I think they all did a great job in trying to assess the situation and to ensure that people were safe.
Very interesting. I know that the governor was on this. Chuck Schumer immediately went to, we need to change the laws. And TMZ is all over it.
What laws did he want to change?
Gun laws. So
that you can't.
Are you
nobody
serious?
can have a gun.
Are you serious? I mean,
Oh,
I
yeah,
haven't
that
seen
was
any of that. But I
Schumer's
mean,
comment last
there's
night.
the problem, though, in my opinion, right now.
This was early. His statement came out probably around 6 o'clock, 5:30, 6 o'clock.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the issue. Even this, where the governor, I understand being briefed. I understand and respect that. But I understand that also then they directed all communications to go through the governor's office. I do have an issue with that. I mean, you have SUNY Central. It is a SUNY campus. If you don't want the specific university or college to be giving statements and you want to work that through SUNY
Please,
itself.
the sheriff's department or the state police.
Right,
do it.
but
Yeah.
I just, that concerns me, that approach.
Yeah. We just received news that former Vice President Dick Cheney has died at the age of 84. Former Vice President under George W. Bush. Dick Cheney, a staunch Republican, but a pretty avid critic of President Trump, has passed away at the age of 84. Some called him a hawk. I think that would be a fair description. And then, of course, the one blemish, the one very large blemish, was that whether or not Iran had nuclear weapons, and that testimony, that was certainly a part of his legacy.
He had a full career involved in a number of different
many administrations, Reagan
administrations, right,
Yeah.
in different roles. I met him when he was the Secretary of Defense at the time, and before he was selected to be Vice President. So I think if you look at his total career, and as you said, he was an activist in a lot of ways. He was an active Vice President with President Bush. People had strong opinions even then during that time, and as I think you indicated properly, but I'd have to talk to the historians and how they view him. But he was hawkish in that regard. So
yeah, I don't know how you wouldn't refer to him as that. Also, a very familiar member on Saturday Night Live. His character, of course, played often on SNL. But again, the former Vice President Dick Cheney dead at the age of 84.
And he had a number of health problems throughout his career. He had a number, even when he was Vice President, heart-related, where there was concerns about his survivability. So,
and if you want to go down the rabbit hole, I can tell you that he's been named in conspiracy theories about 9/11 and what the government's role was. And to be honest with you, those who believe that, I don't know, that the United States knew that it was coming, or that there was some foul play beyond foreign terrorism from within inside our government, and most of them point to Dick Cheney's involvement and that he was kind of directing things. Take with that what you will.
They say he was with FDR when we ignored the Japanese threat, and also was on, I believe, there in the grassy knoll back in. I mean, some of these theories, you're right. I mean, everybody's got a conspiracy theory. All right, let's get away from any conspiracy and let's talk Turkey.
If you believe we landed a man on the moon, right? Was that the REM, right?
Yes. If you, go ahead.
Talking Turkey on natural gas.
I thought you meant the country for a minute.
So,
but that's all right.
So according to Marianne Buttonshon, our Assemblywoman, who's in the majority, she said there is an opt-out for communities and municipalities if the infrastructure is not there. The county, the town, the village, the city can opt out of the requirement to go all electric when building new construction.
Yeah, I don't know if that's completely accurate. For the best part here is there are certain provisions, and the law is somewhat vague in some cases, but it is.
She even said there's all they have to do is opt out. I said, do they look into it? Well, they have to meet a certain requirement. They just need to opt out.
The bottom line is there is an effort here, and we've seen this, to move aggressively towards a clean energy agenda. I'm the former chair of the Energy Committee. I have no problem embracing clean energy, but I think we need to do this in a realistic, reasonable method and manner. We're not seeing that. All of these things, the 100-foot law that was changed, and we talked about this before this year, which before, if you were within 100 foot as a resident of a gas line, the power company had to hook you up at no cost. The change this year is that they can still hook you up, but now that cost is put on the ratepayer directly, which is significant. And the reason for that is to get you not to want to hook up to gas.
Right.
And so, look, under the CLCPA, which is the climate bill, all of these things are being done to take away your options and your choices of fossil fuel. You saw this with the electric school bus mandate. We had the commissioner here the other day. Superintendents are talking about the reliability, the affordability issues of going to these electric buses. You now see it gets so crazy.
We're
Bill,
not even. We're to the point where even people who are absolutely all in on I don't know anybody that doesn't want clean energy ultimately.
Exactly.
But everyone is saying the same thing. We do not have the infrastructure yet. We don't have the technology, and terrain and weather up here plays a big role.
And can you afford it too?
Yeah.
I mean, they put in $500 million This is hypocrisy. So you'll hear the majority say, well, we funded this. There's $500 million to fund this. Well, the actual price tag for 700 plus school districts is $10 billion.
Yeah.
So that's a slap in the face to these school districts. Nobody's listening to the stakeholders, the transportation officials, the superintendents who are explaining why this is a problem. And all we're asking right now, and I think we're starting to see this more because the electorate is starting to get engaged, is to hit the pause button. And you hear the governor now starting to say, because she knows she has an election next year, so now she's starting to talk about, well, maybe we got to relook and re-examine at these timetables, and we're not abandoning the approach or the direction, but we maybe have to slow it down, and that obviously you have to do that. I believe that we should not eliminate choice. I always believed and preached a diversified energy portfolio so that you don't rely on one particular segment of industry. You talked about Dick Cheney a little while ago. And September 11th, my concern from a public safety perspective is the next wave of terrorism may not be buildings and planes. It will be taking the power grid down.
Yeah.
And you saw what happened in Texas and California when that did happen, which is devastating to the residents.
Just think of this. If you have a loved one that lives in a major city and the power goes down, the cell towers go down, the ATM machines go down, and you're 3 hours, 10 hours, 8 hours away from that loved one, are you going to call them on their landline? Nobody has that anymore. You'll reach out on the cell phone, and you will not be able to make contact with your loved one. So I do think that it can have a really huge effect on people and what it would do to the government. And
no, absolutely. But I also think you hit on a nerve, really, and I have always talked about redundancy too. I really wish people didn't get rid of the landline because I think you wanted that backup. You want to embrace new technology like the cells.
Sadly, a lot of people's landlines today are cellular based. They're not even real lands. Not the old copper wire coming into your house. So we'll talk more about it. I want to get into the fact that I don't know about you, Joe, but I am enjoying Daylight Standard Time, Eastern Standard Time. We'll talk about that controversy coming up as well. Senator Joe Griffo, Jeff Manaske, Alex, and Stefan. We're all. Stefan has made his way in for breakfast. Has a question for the senator.
All right.
We'll get to that coming up, and much more. A ton next hour. And it's important. Get out there and vote today. Obviously, it's not the midterm elections, which we'll be dealing with next year and be very, very busy, but there are some pretty important races that are out there to deal with today. Brian Miller, Assemblyman, just came in. We'll speak with him coming up after the news. River Hills Properties continues to grow in the area and continues to serve the people of upstate New York. And it's all about service. It's all about the extra things that they do to assist people in helping them sell their home or buy a home. If you list with River Hills, you automatically are adding a team that assists you from the very beginning until the end. It's River Hills Properties. They have offices in Barneveld, in Little Falls, in Utica, Copenhagen to the north. Just recently cut the ribbon in Newport, coming soon to Rome. And, of course, if your eyes, you have your sights on being one of those snowbirds, avoiding the winter weather up here, they have an office on the coast side, the West Coast side, the Gulf Coast side of Florida in Sarasota. It's River Hills Properties. Nobody sells homes like River Hills. We have news coming up top of the hour. Manaske has an update as well. Of course, the breaking news here, which you're going to hear about coming right up, is the former Vice President, Dick Cheney, and he has passed away at the age of 84. Details are coming up here on WIBX.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, celebrating 100 years.
This is a Fox News alert. I'm Kathleen Maloney. Former Vice President Dick Cheney died last night. He was 84.
American politics has always been a tough business. Even in 1787, here in Philadelphia, when George Washington himself wondered if delegates could ever agree on a constitution. They did agree as Americans always have when it mattered most.
Cheney in August of 2000 when he accepted the vice presidential nomination. Cheney died of complications of pneumonia as well as cardiac and vascular disease. Today's the first major election day since President Trump returned to the White House, and the race in New Jersey for governor is being closely watched.
This race also having national implications, with many Democrats wanting this to be a referendum on the Trump administration. Democrats are running Congresswoman Mikey Sherrill as their nominee against Republican former Assemblyman Jack Ciattarelli. While the Republicans insist Trump is not on voters' minds, Democrats believe Washington's moves very much impact the Garden State. The president has not held any in-person rallies in New Jersey, but overnight Trump hosted a telephone rally for the GOP ticket, urging his supporters to show up at the polls today. For her part, Sherrill has embraced the Democratic establishment. She's campaigned with leaders on the left, including former President Obama.
Fox's Mark Meredith. Virginia's gubernatorial race also in the national spotlight. Fox's Alexandria Hoff has that.
Regardless of the outcome today, it will be a historic one as Virginia will name its first female governor. The Democrat in this race, former Congresswoman Abigail Spanberger, is seeking to return the governor's mansion to her party after 4 years of Governor Glenn Youngkin at the helm. Virginia does not allow consecutive terms, so he has campaigned alongside his Republican Lieutenant Governor Winsome Earl Sears to become his successor. Both candidates gave their final pitches last night.
If Republican Earl Sears wins, she would become the first black woman to lead the state. America's listening to Fox News.
Feel that chill in the air? Now's the perfect time to layer up. The outerwear shop is now open at Untuckit with sharp new jackets and vests made for this season and beyond. You'll find all the right layers to keep you warm and looking sharp, including cozy sweaters, sweatshirts, and more. But hurry, fall weather won't wait, and neither should you. So don't miss the outerwear shop, open now at untuckit.com in more than 80 stores worldwide. Untuckit, shirts designed to be worn, untucked.
This month, Pure Talk is supporting Canines for Warriors, a terrific organization that trains rescue dogs and then pairs them up with combat vets struggling with PTSD. This is why I switched to Pure Talk. Sure, I like the unlimited talk, text, and plenty of 5G data for just $25 a month, and you will too. But you will love being in business with a company that shares your values. Dial pound 250, say micro, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
Again, our top story, former Vice President Dick Cheney dead at the age of 84. We're now in day 35 of the government shutdown with no end in sight. The Senate has yet to pass a spending bill to reopen it. House Speaker Mike Johnson blames two Democratic leaders for the logjam.
Schumer and Jeffries and their colleagues fear political retribution from the far-left activists in their party more than they fear the consequences of keeping the government closed for weeks on end.
House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries says the issue of affordable health care needs to be part of the deal.
We need to find a bipartisan path forward to enacting a spending agreement that actually makes life better for the American people. But we also have to decisively address the Republican health care crisis.
Meanwhile, SNAP benefits are not being fully funded as the shutdown grinds on. The right to carry a firearm may extend to public buses and trains.
Both the Second Amendment Foundation and the Firearms Policy Coalition want the U.S. Supreme Court to get involved in a case out of Chicago that originally successfully challenged Illinois law banning firearms on public transit. The case was first filed in a federal district court in 2022, and that court ruled the Illinois ban violated the Second Amendment, failing the Supreme Court's Bruin test for historical analogs in gun laws. But the Seventh Circuit Court of Appeals overturned that ruling, saying trains and buses are sensitive places and can be made gun-free zones. Overturning the Seventh Circuit would mean bans in other states and cities could be undone. Eben Brown, Fox News.
President Trump giving a glimpse of his outlook on the U.S.-China relationship with a 6-word post on Truth Social. He mentioned the G2, a term suggesting equal power between the two countries. That is something that China wants. I'm Kathleen Maloney. This is Fox News.
Sunshine and 40 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM news time is 7:05. This news update is brought to you by the Stanley Center for the Arts. A single vehicle crash on Stedman Road in the town of Lee, resulting in the death of a 19-year-old driver. The Oneida County Sheriff's Office says it occurred on Sunday evening at around 8:40. No other passengers were in the vehicle. The driver has been identified as Owen Smith of Lee Center. Deputies say he died from his injuries at Rome Health shortly after the crash. A hiker had to be rescued by the Oneida County Sheriff's Office after slipping down a ravine in Boonville. Deputies responded to the call yesterday afternoon around 3 o'clock. The 42-year-old man, who is said to have special needs, was hiking with his mother when he became separated from her after slipping. She called 911 for help. They were able to locate the missing man at around 5 p.m., and he was rescued with the help of ATVs and drones. An investigation continues after a shooting on the SUNY Morrisville campus. Authorities say a 20-year-old non-student was shot in the neck yesterday inside the South Hall dormitory. That victim was brought to a nearby hospital for treatment and is expected to survive. Now, police say this was a targeted event and that no arrests have been made thus far. Anyone with information is encouraged to come forward. Price Chopper Market 32 stepping up to help those in need impacted by the SNAP benefits crisis. The supermarket chain is cutting prices on nearly 30 grocery items to help families put food on the table. Those items include eggs, Pix brand pasta, avocados, red or green grapes, English muffins, cereals, and more. SNAP benefits have been on hold since Saturday, but the Trump administration has now agreed to partially fund them. Those discounts from Price Chopper and Market 32 will run through November 8th. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM News Time is coming up on 7:08. Your forecast is brought to you by the Clinton Tractor, the leader in service. Visit clintontractor.net.
A bit unsettled as we continue to push on through early this morning. Maybe a couple of leftover showers. Otherwise, sunshine, clouds, and a gusty west breeze today. Low 50s. Tonight, partial to Adirondacks. Rain chances going up tomorrow afternoon, up into the mid-50s. Rain tomorrow night, showers around early Thursday. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Right now, sunshine and 40 degrees at 7:08. All right, from the IBEW 43 local sports desk, Monday Night Football last night, wrapping up Week 9, a 27-17 win for the Arizona Cardinals over the Cowboys. One of the best games of the year happened on Sunday when the Bears came from behind to take down the Bengals 47-42. I apologize, that's a weekend recap there. Week 10 kicks off Thursday night. The Raiders and Broncos play in Denver. Syracuse basketball opened up with a dominant win over Binghamton, 85-47 at the JMA Wireless Dome. Donnie Freeman led the Orange with 20 points on 7 of 11 shooting. He also grabbed a team-high 6 rebounds. The 49ers will be without their 2025 first-round pick for the rest of the season. San Francisco rookie Mikel Williams suffered a torn right ACL on the team's 34-24 win over the Giants on Sunday. Williams was injured during the fourth quarter after his knee buckled while chasing Giants quarterback Jackson Dart. The Eagles continue to make moves on defense. The team acquired Jalen Phillips from the Dolphins on Monday in exchange for a third-round pick in April's draft. The edge rusher has 3 sacks in 9 games this season and will become a free agent at the end of the year. The Titans and Ravens reportedly making a swap ahead of the trade deadline. Tennessee sending linebacker Draymond Jones to Baltimore in exchange for a conditional 5th-round pick in the 2026 draft. Jones has 26 total tackles and 4.5 sacks this season, his first with Tennessee. WIBX News Time is 7:09, and of course it is Election Day. The polls are open until 9 tonight. We are broadcasting live until 9 this morning at the Marlog in East Utica.
Jeff, it is Election Day.
It is Election Day.
And with us right now is Senator Joe Griffo. And, Brian, I didn't have a chance to test that mic. Why don't you give it a test 1, 2?
Test 1, 2.
How about that?
There you
It's
go.
the first thing that worked on
He's
the very
natural.
on the very first try today. I love it. And Senator Joe Griffo is here, who is the sponsor of the event. which we do.
When he's buying breakfast?
Which we do every year
Absolutely.
at Marlock. So
It's beautiful out there today, too. What a great day.
it is. The sun shining. And, all right, we have a lot to get to this hour. Dr. Kent Hall coming on. We'll get the latest there. And a reminder about, as we're getting towards that time of flu shots and your COVID shot, if that's something that you're doing. Yeah.
And I know Stephan had a question about security,
Yes.
safety at the hospital. We can address
We'll
that.
get
if
into
you'd
that
like.
a little bit. Ruben Diaz is a New York City Democrat. Talk about Ruben.
Well, former Senator Diaz and former City Councilman Diaz, who was once a candidate for Congress also, has been in New York City politics for a long time. He's somewhat controversial because he's a guy who speaks his mind candidly and directly, and I respect that. I find him to be a really good man. He's honorable, but he offers his opinion, and sometimes that's where people take exception to it. But we're going to have him call in.
And this whole mayor's race is just you can't take your eyes off it because it's going to have a lot of people feel Mandami is about to Mamdani. I can never, unless I'm looking at it, I can never pronounce it right. It is going
Just
to be
like the song, the Irish song, Donny Boy, Danny Boy. Mom, Donny Boy.
Mom, Donny Boy.
That's what he is.
Mom, Donny Boy.
They'll be singing it.
Word
Sounds
is-
like an SNL skit.
It does. The word is he will be a winner today, but a lot of attempts to get Cuomo in. I would not at this point completely count Cuomo out. There's a lot of early voting in there. It is really an older versus younger demographic issue, with the older plugging their nose in some cases and siding with Cuomo. And then Sliwa, the Republican who's still in it. But all the Republicans are saying, vote Cuomo, don't vote Sliwa. There was a poll that came out yesterday that said if Sliwa were out of the race, Cuomo wins. But here we are on Election Day, and he's not out of the race. So we'll speak with Ruben Diaz from the Democratic side. And Mike, this will be interesting. Mike Rendino is the owner. Well, before we get to it, he's a Republican.
The Republican chair of the Bronx.
In the Bronx, who has a pretty strong opinion on this as well. And he is the owner of
Stands. And so I've got all you Met fans here, but for the Yankee fans out there, everybody knows where Stands is. It's right across from the stadium. It's a phenomenal place. I mean, pre-game, post-game, you find a lot of people in there in the Bronx.
For Mets fans, we sit in the stands.
Yes.
But this is
Watch the playoffs from the stands.
Usually from the cheap seats. This is Stan's Bar, which is down there. If you go to Yankee Stadium, you know Stan's. It's a legendary place. He will come on and chat about this race. It's a big one today. It's very active right now in New York City. So we'll come back with all of it. Stand by. We're live from Marlog in East Utica. It's Joe time on Election Day with WIBX.
Judge Pat Kilmartin, current civil and criminal trial judge and attorney in private practice, former Onondaga County prosecutor and county attorney, decades of real courtroom experience. Judge Pat Kilmartin, past county legislator and longtime youth basketball coach, active parish member and volunteer for the Diocese of Syracuse, engaged in our community. Judge Pat Kilmartin, husband, father, coach, friend, committed to fairness, integrity, and the rule of law.
I'm Judge Pat Kilmartin. Growing up, I learned the value of public service from my mom, a public school educator, and my dad, a court attendant for Onondaga County Court. The countless hours I spent following my dad down courthouse halls started me on my path to becoming a lawyer, a prosecutor, and a judge. Everything I've done professionally since then has prepared me to extend that service to New York State Supreme Court.
Elect Judge Pat Kilmartin to State Supreme Court. Paid for by Judge Kilmartin for Supreme Court.
Are your windows old and tired? Hard to put up and down? Builder's grade windows just aren't made to last very long. Patriot Home Solutions is a different kind of window company. No games or gimmicks, no long drawn out sales presentations, Just high-quality, custom-fit windows at reasonable prices made right here in New York. And right now, you can get up to $2,000 off new windows from Patriot and NYSERDA. Plus, get an upgrade to triple pane windows for free. Minimum 3-window purchase. Most homeowners qualify for the savings, and income is not one of the requirements. So write this number down, 315-401-0440. That's 401-0440. Patriot Home Solutions will tell you right over the phone if you qualify. Don't miss your chance to save up to $2,000 and get the triple pane upgrade free. Funds are limited, so call before they run out. Learn more at callpatriothomesolutions.com. That's callpatriothomesolutions.com.
We are here with Tom Giglio from Script Stop Pharmacy, Oriskany Boulevard in Whitesboro, our industry ace. What sets you apart from other pharmacies?
Script Stop Pharmacy, 131 Oriskany Boulevard in Whitesboro, New York. We're changing the game. We're a locally owned pharmacy, and we'll treat you like family. With fast, friendly service, no-wait immunizations, and automatic refills, we ensure that you never miss a dose. Pick up the phone and give us a call at 315-790-5300, and you won't have to sit on hold with an automated answering system. You'll be able to actually reach out to a person. You won't have to wait in a long line only to find out that your prescription isn't ready or is not in stock. We offer a wide range of services, including text message alerts when your prescriptions are ready. We have an app that you can manage your medications in, and we offer free delivery across all of Oneida County. And with 75 years of combined pharmacist experience, we're here to serve you quickly, reliably, and with a smile. Need a script? Make the stop, or just call Script Stop.
Brought to you by Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
This message is paid for by friends of Michael Gentile.
Hi, I'm Michael Gentile, your Oneida County legislator for Utica's 23rd District. I've always believed in hard work, honesty, and giving back to the community that raised me. I focused on improving public safety, supporting families, and investing in projects that strengthen our neighborhoods and improve quality of life across the 23rd District and all of Oneida County. This election, I respectfully ask for your vote so we can keep our community moving forward. I'm Michael Gentile, and I'm proud to serve you.
Some firsts you'd like to leave in the rearview mirror. Other firsts are life-changing. 90 years ago, Nokian tires changed driving with our first, the invention of the winter tire. Today, we're still the leader in winter driving with more than 100 patents and 200 days of testing in the Arctic every year. Winter is our first love. Make winter safety your first priority. Nokian tires. First things first. Visit Tolman's Tire and Auto Repair in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, or online at tolmanstire.com.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Gentile race.
Here we go.
Yeah, that's interesting. We're on. You want to add? Well, you can talk about that's one of the races. Mike Gentile.
What do you think?
County legislator. Brian Miller's here.
So yeah,
Joe Griffo, Manaski. It's Keeler in the Morning live from Marlaw. Good morning.
Marlaw with Johnny Marafa. I want to thank him for hosting us again here at this version of Joe Time, and thank you both again. It's good to have you both together again. You sound great.
Thank you.
Yeah, it does.
Yep.
The county board has to run again next year because that's another thing. We talked about how they changed the Supreme Court of the state of New York now, the districts of it.
Right.
And they also did the same thing now. And there was litigation. Our county joined with Onondaga County because all of these races will be in the even years now. And the rationale they give for that is because they want to encourage more voter turnout. But the real reason behind it is they're thinking they can help influence and sway an election towards
the
their
more people who turn out, chances are it benefits Democrats.
Well, but in a presidential, they feel, because if you're in a presidential, if you're in a gubernatorial year, they feel that they got a better shot because you have many of these counties who hopefully people will look at that and vote on these individuals based on what they've done and what.
The general election is hard enough. Like today, general election, although there are some pretty key races, and you'll see some higher turnout in certain areas. But, talk about low turnout. The primaries during a year like this are low. But these are local races where in some towns you may only get,
You got 6 people.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It might be.
That's
I was going to say 100, but you're absolutely right. It may be 6 people that are voting, and that's just what happens in a small township.
Absolutely. I started out in the small town of Bridgewater, and the first year I ran for supervisor, I won by 7 votes. It was 14-7.
14-7.
Okay,
yeah.
and that was a huge win.
And when you look at a race like that, if you don't win it, you're like, can you believe we lost by 7 votes? Now, if you look at percentages, can you believe we lost by 50%? That's just terrible. Nonetheless, whatever.
But I don't believe that a lot of this stuff is in the best interest of the electorate, even though it's being presented that way. Because when you have a ballot that's going to be so extensive, and you're going to have local officials running with statewide and congressional races, you know what airtime is going to be like, how that. And so I just think
about going down the ballot. It's a presidential year. You're going to have 15 candidates on there. And they're going to hit. They're going to vote for the president, and they may not go down the whole line.
Yeah. Richard already piping in 75%. All right, thank you. The doctor, the good doctor, Dr. Kent Hall, on the line right now, from formerly of MVHS and now a retired photographer, enjoyer of the fall colors and wildlife and all of that stuff. Dr. Kent Hall, good morning.
Good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good. Welcome. You have Brian Miller, Assemblyman, Joe Griffo, State Senator, all here in our Election Day studio over at Marlog in East Utica. We are, one more quick reminder for those people, all these shots, the flu shot and whatever it is that you feel you need to take are all available, and now is the time to get it before we hit the holidays.
Absolutely correct. Now is the time to make sure that you can protect yourself. So, if you need to go to your healthcare provider for, to make sure that the insurance will cover your COVID shot, then I strongly encourage you to do that. But absolutely, flu shots you should be getting. This is the time of year, and people are going to get sick. It isn't if, it's when. But to protect yourself as much as possible, that's just really important.
Just a few minutes ago, there was someone here that asked the senator what he was going to do to help the nursing staff and the staff over at Wynn Hospital, and this might be something up the doctor's alley right here.
Yeah, so I know that the senator is actually a co-sponsor of a bill that is working its way through the legislature in Albany to include healthcare professionals to amend a current law to add healthcare professionals who are assaulted to make it a more serious crime, which I fully support. I can tell you that in my years in the emergency department, especially the last probably 10 or 15 years that I was working in the emergency department, the number of assaults there just continued to go up and up and up. And the emergency department is a particularly vulnerable place because there is, we take all comers. We must do that. I think that that's the right thing to do. There's a federal law that says that we have to, but obviously that means that, there are some people who are going to come in who are going to, going to the emergency department makes it by definition not the best day of your life. And so, there are people who are going to be angry. There are people who are going to be upset. You get people coming in with assaults, and then the question is who have been assaulted. And then the question is, are the people who assaulted them also going to come in and continue to look for them? That you have people who have, mental health issues, and they can be difficult to get control of. I know that the hospital system, the Mohawk Valley Health System, is working very hard to get all of their staff trained in de-escalation, which is also the right thing to do because there is no one silver bullet for this. Right. This is doing multiple things to try and keep everybody as safe as possible. So it is not an easy thing to fix, if there is a fix to it per se, but it certainly doesn't. We do need to do a better job of managing it for sure.
Yeah, and I think the doc described it very well as far as all the circumstances that surround how and what happens. But from my perspective, there's got to be zero tolerance and a consequence for any kind of activity. The legislature has put in laws, and we should be protecting everyone. Violence is unacceptable. But we've already passed laws to protect retail workers, transit workers. So to me, the healthcare professional should be a high priority also, particularly as the doctor described, what they see and what they experience on a regular basis. So from my perspective, zero tolerance for any type of assault against a healthcare worker, and that's what I would call it, even though they're trained and hopefully learning how to de-escalate, but sometimes it goes beyond that, and there's got to be a consequence for people doing or what they shouldn't be doing.
About 2 months ago, we sat in the ER at Wynn, and it was rather quiet. The next day, we sat in the ER at Upstate Med, and holy cow, what they have to deal with up there is, and I'm telling you, some of these people, I feel like they know them by first name because they're in every night. They come in every night to get out of whatever is going on in the elements, or just. And the rule is you can't sleep, you can't lay down. I was trying. It wasn't me, but you know what I'm saying. It's. I mean, this is a problem all over the state, probably all over the country. In emergency rooms, these doctors and nurses shouldn't have to worry that they're going to be hurt trying to save somebody.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And let's hear Doc's perspective. But even in the waiting areas, I think we're seeing more and more problems right now where people are entering these areas that should be in there. These are not centers for people to come in. There are other programs and opportunities that we can have to support people who may need certain types of assistance.
Yeah,
and we've had that conversation because we get updates from Mohawk Valley Health as well as Rome Health. And here in Utica, we've talked about the fact that those waiting areas, for whether it's in the emergency room or in general, really have to be monitored more strictly. And while you have to be sensitive to people's needs and well-being, you also can't be tolerant of people just coming in there that shouldn't be there.
How'd you like to be the sheriff's deputy okay, who's going to volunteer to go into the ER tonight where everyone's sick? Show of hands. Anybody?
Yeah.
I mean, sadly, that's actually, luckily, these deputies and people in law enforcement are the first to raise their hands. But, you're going into a place where everybody's sneezing and sick and yeah. Doc, hold tight. I have Wayne who has a question for you. Wayne, you're on with Dr. Kent Hall.
All right. How you doing, Kent?
Good. How are you, Wayne?
Good. I have one question. I have a arthritis in one of my hips, and I went for help, and they don't want to replace my hip, but they're suggesting that I do what they call blood spinning. What's your opinion on blood spinning?
Blood spinning.
So
it sounds like an athletic.
Yeah, it's a process to. So first of all, it won't fix the underlying problem. What it does do is it decreases the pain and decreases the progression of the arthritis. But at some point in time, I don't know how old you are or anything like that, but given the fact that they're already talking about things like this, at some point in time, you're probably going to need a replacement. So it isn't a panacea for that. It is really just to manage it.
Thank you.
Yeah, and Wayne, I'm one more question on this for the doc. How difficult is it for doctors? You know what you need to how you want to assess a situation. You know what needs to be done, but you then have the insurance company that's pushing back and saying, well, I know the doctor says you need this treatment, but instead our numbers are showing differently, and you're denied. That seems to be, if you talk to doctors, they're all livid over this.
This is out-of-pocket cash.
That's out-of-pocket cash. Wow.
Yeah, that's what that procedure is, out-of-pocket cash.
Yeah. Wow. Doc?
Yeah, so what you describe is absolutely correct, where the where in terms of getting things paid for, because again, the insurance companies do not practice medicine. They don't say you can't have it. They say we're not going to pay for it, and that is. And, they use very strict criteria, but even those strict criteria are subject to interpretation. And I can tell you, again, in the emergency department, I didn't have to worry about that because if somebody came in and I ordered something, it was considered an emergency, it was going to be covered. But for my orthopedic surgery colleagues and my for any proceduralists and many, generalists as well, the hoops that they have to jump through with insurance companies, and I will say I'm not going to name names, but some are more problematic than others. That to make sure that the patients that we care for can actually get the care, get the care paid for that is that they need is substantial. That's all I can say.
Doc, as always, we appreciate it. Thank you. Have a great day. We'll talk again real soon.
Sounds good, everybody. Have a great day. Please be safe and please vote.
Yes, get out there and vote. Dr. Ken Hall, thanks so much. Coming up, Ruben Diaz is a former state senator. He is a New York City Democrat. He is, Senator, opinionated.
Very opinionated. And
okay.
Hopefully he was supposed to call, so we may have to try to call him.
All right, well,
if we can.
We'll work that out during the break. Quick break, Davey, and we'll get you a number to call him. Ruben Diaz, a Democratic perspective on this issue of New York City's mayor. Who will the next mayor be? I think everybody's come to the conclusion it's not going to be Cuomo. It's not going to be Sliwa. Is that what's going to happen today? We'll check in with Ruben Diaz coming up at WIBX.
Brought to you by Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/radio for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/radio. See representative for warranty details.
Are your windows old and tired? Hard to put up and down? Builder's grade windows just aren't made to last very long. Patriot Home Solutions is a different kind of window company. No games or gimmicks, no long drawn-out sales presentations. Just high-quality, custom-fit windows at reasonable prices made right here in New York. And right now, you can get up to $2,000 off new windows from Patriot and NYSERDA. Plus, get an upgrade to triple-pane windows for free. Minimum 3-window purchase. Most homeowners qualify for the savings, and income is not one of the requirements. So, write this number down, 315-401-0440. That's 401-0440. Patriot Home Solutions will tell you right over the phone if you qualify. Don't miss your chance to save up to $2,000 and get the triple pane upgrade free. Funds are limited, so call before they run out. Learn more at callpatriothomesolutions.com. That's callpatriothomesolutions.com.
Judge Pat Kilmartin, current civil and criminal trial judge and attorney in private practice, former Onondaga County prosecutor and county attorney, decades of real courtroom experience. Judge Pat Kilmartin, past county legislator and longtime youth basketball coach, active parish member and volunteer for the Diocese of Syracuse, engaged in our community. Judge Pat Kilmartin, husband, father, coach, friend, committed to fairness, integrity, and the rule of law.
I'm Judge Pat Kilmartin. Growing up, I learned the value of public service from my mom, a public school educator, and my dad, a court attendant for Onondaga County Court. The countless hours I spent following my dad down courthouse halls started me on my path to becoming a lawyer, a prosecutor, and a judge. Everything I've done professionally since then has prepared me to extend that service to New York State Supreme Court.
Elect Judge Pat Kilmartin to State Supreme Court. Paid for by Judge Kilmartin for Supreme Court.
BME Company Business Machines and Equipment has been delivering office solutions for businesses in upstate New York for over 30 years. Their success comes from finding the right document management strategies and software solutions for streamlining workflows. Simply put, BME provides fast, reliable service at the best value to keep your business running smoothly. Through BME's strategic partnership with Hummel's Office Plus, they distribute supplies for just about every machine in your office at a great price. BME welcomes the opportunity to serve your business, selling, leasing, and service in Canon and Kyocera devices, as well as FP mailing solutions. An important part of BME's culture is supporting the communities they're fortunate to work in, and BME recognizes that support is one reason for their success. The future of business in BME's area is encouraging, and the company is grateful to be a part of that growth. Call BME Company at 315-574-8200 or visit BMEcompany.com. BME Company Office Solutions. Made simple.
Sunshine, 41 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM news time is 7:36. This news update brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. Of course, today is Election Day. The polls are open and will remain open until 9 tonight. You can check your local Board of Elections for polling locations. An investigation continues after a shooting on the SUNY Morrisville campus. Authorities say a 20-year-old non-student was shot in the neck yesterday inside the South Hall dormitory. That victim was brought to a nearby hospital for treatment and is expected to survive. Police say the incident was a targeted event and that so far no arrests have been made, and they're asking anyone with information to come forward. The Oneida County Sheriff's Office updating that fatal one-vehicle crash that occurred on Stedman Road in the town of Lee on Sunday evening. The driver is identified as 19-year-old Owen Smith of Lee Center. Deputies say that he lost control of the vehicle, went off the shoulder, and struck a tree. He died from his injuries at Rome Health shortly after the accident. A hiker was found safe after slipping down a ravine in Boonville on Monday afternoon. The Sheriff's Office also responding to that call around 3 p.m. when a 42-year-old hiker with special needs was with his mother and became separated after slipping down the ravine. Law enforcement used ATVs and drones to help locate the man, and he was safely found at around 5 p.m. last evening. And one note in national news, it's a story that's been leading the national stories all morning. Former Vice President Dick Cheney has passed away, according to his family. He was 84 years old. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM news time is 7:38. Here's your forecast.
A bit unsettled as we continue to push on through early this morning. Maybe a couple of leftover showers. Otherwise, sunshine, clouds, and a gusty west breeze today. Low 50s. Tonight, partial clouds, mid-30s, colder in the Adirondacks. Rain chances going up tomorrow afternoon, up into the mid-50s. Rain tomorrow night, showers around early Thursday. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Sunshine and 41 at 7:37.
All right, we're live here. It's Election Day, and it is Joe time. Senator Joe Griffo does this every year. And we're at Marlog. This is the spot we come to for Election Day, I believe.
Election Day at the Marlog.
We've been doing it for quite some time. And it is a big Election Day for some. In New York City, it's enormous. New Jersey has a big day today. It'll be interesting to see there. I think John Zogby just did some polling there that shows the Democrat winning up by about 10 points. We'll see how accurate that ends up being when it's all said and done. Interesting. Let me go let the senator do the introduction here.
Well, we've got with us right now former senator and former city councilman Ruben Diaz Sr. Reverend Diaz has been active in New York City politics. He is an extraordinary guy. He's got a great reputation, and he's a very candid guy. That's what we like about him, and he's going to give us his perspective from the ground as to what's happening in New York City. Reverend, you there?
Good morning. Yes, sir.
Good morning, amigo.
Good morning. How you doing? I would like to appreciate your call and also say hello to my old friend Joe Griffo. He always tried to imitate my broken English, but
I don't think he's
with no
he's
avail.
Yeah, that's right. He butchers that. I don't think he's even tried here this morning. So.
The Reverend used to have me bring people into me and then tell me, imitate me to them. You know?
That's awesome.
That's the greatest source of flattery. He's a good man. And Reverend, tell us what's happening on the ground in New York City today.
Well, we have a problem in the city of New York, especially people like me. You know, I am a minister. I'm a Christian pastor. And with a guy like Sohran Mandani, a person that is promoting to legalize the prostitution in New York City, the person that is in favor of the elimination practically of Israel. You know, my religion is based in Judeo-Christian faith. Israel is too important for our religion. And when anyone comes out against Israel, my faith orders me to go against that person because we are here to go to protect Israel. So Sohran Mandani not only is against Israel, not only he wants to legalize prostitution, but he also wants to cut the funding for the police department, and that's troubling. On the other side, we have Andrew Cuomo. When I was in the state Senate, I used to be one of Andrew Cuomo's first foes. We have different based on the religious situation, but community-wise, Andrew Cuomo has done a lot, I think, for the Bronx. I'm from Puerto Rico, where I come from, and we are telling everyone to come out and vote for Andrew Cuomo. Not because he's the best, but because he is done better and will do better than Mandani. Mandani is dangerous. Now, close to 750,000 people have already voted. Today is the last opportunity. And I believe yesterday I did a rally in the Upper Manhattan with Andrew Cuomo. The vibration, the enthusiasm of the people there was telling me that it might be a November surprise. There's not going to be October surprise. It's going to be a November surprise. And I think that Andrew Cuomo is going to be our next mayor.
Well, that would be big, and there's some polling that's just out saying that if Sliwa was not in the race, Cuomo probably would win, but Sliwa remains in, and it's going to be interesting to see what Republicans do after President Trump asked them to vote for Cuomo.
Well, I'm a Trump guy. I'm a Democrat, but I'm a Trump guy. And I always support Republican. When I was in the state Senate, I used to vote with the Republican. So you know, I believe that now with Trump intervention, many Republican voters will abandon Curtis Sliwa and will cross the line to come out and vote for Andrew Cuomo.
Yeah.
If we want to save New York, if we want to do better for New York, people should vote for Andrew Cuomo. And I'm asking those people that are listening to me upstate, they have friends in the city, they have friends, family. So please call your family, call your friends in the city, and ask them to come out to go out and vote for Andrew Cuomo.
All right.
So our host right here today, Reverend, is Mr. Keeler and Mr. Manaski, but Mr. Keeler's daughter lives down in New York City now, so we'll have to make him make a call down there.
She will be voting, and I tell her who to vote for. I do not believe she listens to me.
I would agree with that. But what's the vibe down there today, Senator? Are people excited to go vote? Do you think that the attraction is the free buses that he's promising, government-owned grocery stores? What's the attraction? Because he doesn't have the experience. I've served with him in the state legislature, and he's a nice guy, but really doesn't have what you need to run a major city like New York City, because that is a public corporation. It's really got to be run effectively and efficiently.
It is impossible to provide free transportation to people. That's what Fidel Castro promised in Cuba. It is impossible to provide free food to everybody in the bodegas and in the supermarket. That's what Fidel Castro offered in Cuba. Now people have to make lines in Cuba, and then they have to purchase a dozen of eggs once in a month, one time in a month, and they are suffering. So, this thing of being socialist, practically almost communist, is the problem. New York City is not ready for a socialist government, and people, that's what's going to happen. The young people, they are excited, and they always trying to go different way. But a lot of senior citizens, a lot of adults are voting. And today is the last day. A lot of people are voting, and let me tell you, my friends, it's going to be, again, I'm going to tell you, it's going to be a November surprise. Andrew Cuomo going to be elected as mayor, and I hope to be the one to do the Hispanic prayer in his inauguration.
All right.
All right, Reverend.
All right, Ruben, thank you. Senator, we appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Muchas gracias, amigo.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Have a great day and good luck. Calling for Cuomo to win. It'll be the November surprise. Well, the November surprise we wanted was for the Mets to be marching down through Times Square after they played the New York Yankees in the World Series. Well, we didn't get that, did we? This next guest, Mike Rendino, is the owner, right next to Yankee Stadium, the owner of Stan's Bar, a legendary spot.
Legendary.
In New York City. And in the Bronx, of course, he is the Republican chair. Mike Rendino, good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are we doing upstate?
We're doing good, Mr. Chairman. It's Joe Griffo. I appreciate you taking the time to be on with us. And I'm on with two Met fans here, but they always have a great experience coming to Stan's.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Senator, I'm sorry to hear that. That's the only place where I'm bipartisan is in Stan's. I don't care if they're Democrats or Republicans, as long as they're Yankee fans.
That's right. And then they have money in their pocket. That's important.
Yeah, my wife was a Mets fan. She said once the Mets starts paying the bills, she'll go back to being a Mets fan now. Pragmatic.
Well, what do you think? We just had Ruben Diaz tell us that he feels there will be a November surprise. What do you think?
I think it's a very tough election. I think the Democratic base is energized. I am a Curtis Sliwa supporter in this election. I've had my issues with Curtis in the past, but we made a promise with him. We're going forward with him. Andrew Cuomo is not a better option than Mondami. You guys have seen what he's done to upstate New York. I trust him less than I trust Mondami. I did vote for Curtis Sliwa, but Andrew is the reason we have bail reform problems in New York. He is the architect of it. He sold out the IDC years ago to get himself another term. I mean, you know that, Senator. You've seen the destruction he's done in Albany, and we don't want it here in New York City.
I have to say, Mike, it was very interesting to watch Cuomo in the very beginning. Because in the very beginning, there were Democrats criticizing it seems like we've elected a moderate Republican. I mean, at one point, Cuomo going after the teachers union, and then when you say he sold out, boy, was there a sellout. Because he just completely catered to the far left, and everything changed for his second half. And, of course, the way it ended was difficult as well. Do you agree with that? Was there a point where you could tolerate Andrew Cuomo?
Andrew Cuomo only cares about Andrew Cuomo. He cares about no one else. If he looks like he's aggravated talking to voters, it annoys him that he feels he has to ask somebody for their vote. He feels like they should just want him to do the job. His ego would be too much for City Hall. It would be all about him and not actually running the city of New York, and that's a problem for us. We've had two great mayors here in my lifetime, Mayor Giuliani and Mayor Bloomberg, and they were all about efficiency, accountability, and transparency in city government. And then we had 8-year disaster of Bill de Blasio. And then we had 2 tough years of Mayor Adams while he started rebuilding the city. And his last year and a half, Mayor Adams, I got to give him credit. He hired Randy Mastro to come in. He was a Republican under Giuliani. He became deputy mayor. The city's starting to feel good again. We could have sold Mayor Adams to the base. I can't sell Andrew Cuomo to the base. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Wow. So Mike, it's Griffo again. What's the vibe down there today, though? Because is there really? I know Reverend Diaz talked about a potential upset, but I mean, I think the vibe down there still is moving for Zoran, and it just seems almost inevitable today, even though the race may be closing. Not sure who's affecting who. If Curtis's presence continues to take away from Cuomo. What do you see, though, if you were prognosticating right now as to what's going to happen after the polls close tonight at 9 p.m.?
I mean, let's be honest. Mondami got more votes in the primary than we did on the Republican line 4 years ago in the general election. There's a wave and an enthusiasm about him. And, yes, he's inexperienced, but from what I hear from people who worked with him in the assembly, they say he's a charismatic guy. Although he is ideologically very different than the Republican Party, he still tries to talk to Republicans. He's a friendly guy. He charms a room, and he's a fresh voice. And right now, that's what the Democratic Party, between their breakdowns over Donald Trump and his success and the fact that they tried to shove Andrew Cuomo down their throats in their primary, just pumped this guy up, and they made him bigger than life, unfortunately.
Yeah. I do also wonder your thoughts, Mike, on I felt that when more than once, and of course yesterday, President Trump came out, but for Democrats, and actually Mondami completely took advantage of this yesterday, when President Trump is telling Democrats to vote for Cuomo, that, I feel, is the kiss of death for Andrew Cuomo.
I agree, and that worries me because in the Bronx, we elected a councilwoman 2 years ago. It was the first woman ever, the first time we've had an elected official in 22 years since Senator Guy Villela. We won that seat 2 years ago, and she's on the ballot today, and I'm worried about the down-ballot effect of people getting angry that the president's weighing in and are going to go down and just vote down the line Democrat. You know how they have these machines in these big NYCHA buildings that just come out and vote Democrat.
Yeah.
And that's what we're fighting against today.
All right. Who were you rooting for, by the way? Was it the Dodgers or was it the Blue Jays?
I'll tell you what, I didn't want either team to win, but that was an epic World Series. And if you love baseball, that was a great series to watch.
It was just spectacular. So, well, the only thing that could have been better, we know what that is.
Pinstripes, baby.
And I invite you all down next year to come down to the Subway Series and watch the Yankees sweep the Mets. I'll even bring you a broom.
And we're going to all pregame and postgame at stands.
I think that let's mark it down right now. Let's mark it down. We will broadcast from, I know you're not open in the mornings, but we'll broadcast from your place in the morning when that happens.
That sounds like a plan. We can make that happen.
All right, good deal. Well, thank you so
gentlemen.
much, Mike.
Thank you, Chairman.
Right,
take care.
Bye-bye.
All right, have a great day. Very interesting. Surprised by that, by his take on that. I mean, he seems actually comfortable with Mandami more so than Cuomo.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's
Didn't seem that way. That's what he said.
Yeah, and I just think that the concern I have, and he's right about the charismatic aspect of Zoran and what he has done and how he interacts. I just, as a former mayor, I just think that his lack of experience in any way in an executive capacity is not going to bode well for a city that's very complicated. We talked about this before. Some of the winners of the Democratic primaries for mayors and some of the big five across the state concerned me in their victory speeches because they were talking about national issues. And when you're the mayor, you've got to deal with the operations and administrations of that city. And I don't hear a lot of that, the nuts and bolts. And that's what's important to the residents of those particular communities. And New York, as you know, is so vast.
Once he wins, if he wins, it will be, get ready for next year's midterms. It'll be in every commercial from a Republican.
But the other concern I have, though, is, and we've seen this again in history, the last time, and this is why there's a concern upstate and why we brought people on today to talk about what's happening in New York City, because during the era of former Mayor Abe Beame and Governor Kerry, the city was on the brink of bankruptcy, probably in the mid-'70s, I think it was. Federal government refused to engage and assist, and I think we'll see that similarly. And then as a result of that, the state of New York had to go in and bail the city out. And Governor Kerry did a good job back then, but the problem is it's on the backs of upstate New York. So
let me go to the phones. I believe Samantha Colosimo Testa on the line right now. Samantha, good morning.
Hi, good morning, guys. How are you?
Good. It's election day. What's your take?
It is election day. You want to know what? Actually, it's a very interesting conversation. Listening to what you guys were talking about, and I agree with Joe that being a mayor and being a council person, you directly relate to everything that goes on with people. You live next to them, you see them on a daily basis, and, sometimes federal politics is really not necessary at the local level. I mean, we deal with more issues that are beyond that. But the reason I'm calling is I wanted to wish all the candidates best of luck. And it's a long, exhausting haul now. When you start your process now, it starts in February. To collect signatures and this and the third. So you're really campaigning for a whole entire year. So you got 1 year on the council, and then you jump into campaigning again. And it's a lot. It was nice when it was in June, and you could still do what you had to do as a council person or a mayor or comptroller, and it's a long haul, like I said, for the election process. But I usually
Sam, are you wishing your opponents luck today? You're wishing your opponents?
I wish everybody luck. I mean,
That's
anybody
very
that
nice
gets in
of you.
politics has to be crazy, and we all know I'm crazy, so that's why I've been involved as long as I have, and
MT1 is here at Marlog, and he told us to hang up the phone on you. I'm glad we didn't. I'm really glad we didn't. You see him in the booth over there?
MT1 didn't tell me he was going to breakfast, so I want to tell my father-in-law, thank you for excluding me from breakfast today.
Yeah, Mello's right in his main booth over there running the show.
They call it the Kingmaker booth.
He's got his own show going on over there.
We start referring to him as the Don now.
He's the Uber King. He's now the campaign sign king. He's the king of it all. He's the king of Blaine Dynasty.
Why don't you just get it out there right now and tell us that you are considering a run for mayor? What do you think?
Listen, I love teaching. I got to get through the next couple of years to figure out who's running for mayor and go from there. I'm not excluding it out that I might throw my hat in the race.
Okay, we're not excluding, but you have no announcement today.
No announcement today. No, I got to finish my council seat, and I love being on the council, and it's here nor there yet. But I appreciate you guys, and thank you for staying up on the times of what's going on inside the city, and I appreciate you guys.
Well, thank you,
Thanks,
Samantha.
Sam.
Have a great day and good luck today. Samantha Colosimo Testa. Obviously, that was a facetious question, but at the same time, you hear it from you do hear it from people.
And you're going to have all these races coming together very shortly too.
Shortly.
Not the mayoralty, because Constitution, they will stay in the odd years.
But next year is going to be
But you'll
huge.
have all the county offices now, and it's going to be quite interesting as this all develops. I see
Not to mention-
I see Pat McGrath just joined us over there.
I do see him over there having a little breakfast.
Yeah.
One addition to that,
He wants to come to stands with us.
The big question is going to is who will be running? Will there be redistricting? There's a lot of questions. There are a lot of questions out there.
The redistricting thing, I don't think it'll be much more difficult here in New York.
All right, we'll hit that on the other side. So we'll come back to Marlog coming right up here at WIBX.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, celebrating 100 years.
This is a Fox News alert. I'm Kathleen Maloney. Former Vice President Dick Cheney has died at the age of 84. Fox's Lillian Wu reports.
Dick Cheney, chosen by George W. Bush in 2000 as his running mate.
I accept your nomination for Vice President of the United States.
He served from 2001 to 2009 under President Bush, where he played a central role in the administration's war on terror and was considered by many political observers to be the most influential vice president in recent history. He'd also served as Secretary of Defense under President George H.W. Bush and been President Ford's White House Chief of Staff.
Cheney died of complications of pneumonia as well as cardiac and vascular disease. The race for governor of Virginia features two women, one of whom will make history as the first female to lead the state. Republican Winsome Earl Sears, currently the state's lieutenant governor, makes a final pitch to voters.
I'm going to make sure you keep as much of your own money in your pocket because you worked hard for it. So taxes are going to be lower. You're going to be safe and secure in your own homes. We know how to do this. We're not going to defund the police. We're not going to get rid of their qualified immunity. And then, of course, we're going to make sure we continue to create jobs.
Democratic candidate Abigail Spanberger is a vocal critic of President Trump and sees this election as an opportunity to send a message to Washington, D.C. The race for governor of New Jersey is being closely watched. Fox's Gernal Scott with the latest.
Democrat Mikey Sherrill could become the first female Democrat to become New Jersey governor. She said in Union City Monday she'll need every vote to do it.
This is an important election. We're going to win this with your help. And we're going to get out the vote, and we're going to make real change.
Over in Neptune City Monday, Republican Jack Ciattarelli hopes his third run will pay off.
Ciattarelli has the backing of President Trump. This is the first major election since he reclaimed the White House. America's listening to Fox News.
Feel that chill in the air? Now's the perfect time to layer up. The outerwear shop is now open at Untuckit with sharp new jackets and vests made for this season and beyond. You'll find all the right layers to keep you warm and looking sharp, including cozy sweaters, sweatshirts, and more. But hurry, fall weather won't wait, and neither should you. So don't miss the outerwear shop, open now at untuckit.com in more than 80 stores worldwide. Untuckit, shirts designed to be worn, untucked.
This month, Pure Talk is supporting Canines for Warriors, a terrific organization that trains rescue dogs and then pairs them up with combat vets struggling with PTSD. This is why I switched to Pure Talk. Sure, I like the unlimited talk, text, and plenty of 5G data for just $25 a month, and you will too. But you will love being in business with a company that shares your values. Dial pound 250, say micro, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
Our top story again, former Vice President Dick Cheney has died at the age of 84. The Senate is expected to vote today for the 14th time to reopen the government as the shutdown enters day number 35. Fox's Madeline Rivera with the latest.
Still no breakthrough, but Republicans and Democrats are talking more, raising the hope that they may be able to find an off-ramp soon. In the House, for instance, 4 centrist lawmakers released a bipartisan plan on how to renew and reform the expiring Obamacare subsidies. Still, some Republicans are hoping Democrats will just cave. Democratic Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman is criticizing his party, saying they need to own the shutdown. Despite bipartisan conversations, other Democrats remain dug in and are urging their colleagues to not wave the white flag.
The Trump administration announcing that SNAP benefits will be partially funded after 2 judges forced the government to do that. A search is underway for bodies of climbers killed in a Himalayan avalanche. Fox's Jonathan Savage with the details.
Officials in Nepal say 7 mountaineers died when snow and ice crashed onto a base camp at Mount Yalungri. The avalanche happened on Monday morning, but bad weather meant rescue workers could only reach the site a day later. 4 climbers who were injured have been airlifted away for treatment. Among those killed were 2 Nepali mountain guides and a Frenchman whose death was confirmed by his wife, herself a survivor. Mount Yalungri is an 18,000-foot peak considered suitable for mountain climbing rookies. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
Firefighters have rescued 4 workers from beneath rubble inside a medieval tower in Rome, but one of them died on the way to the hospital. The tower partially collapsed during renovation work. Italian prosecutors are investigating possible charges of negligence. The tower's been closed since 2007. I'm Kathleen Maloney. This is Fox News.
We have sunshine, 43 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time.
A bit unsettled as we continue to push on through early this morning. Maybe a couple of leftover showers. Otherwise, sunshine, clouds, and a gusty west breeze today. Low 50s. Tonight, partial clouds, mid-30s. Colder in the Adirondacks. Rain chances going up tomorrow afternoon, up into the mid-50s. Rain tomorrow night. Showers around early Thursday. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
We are here with Tom Giglio from Script Stop Pharmacy, Oriskany Boulevard in Whitesboro, our industry ace. What sets you apart from other pharmacies?
Script Stop Pharmacy, 131 Oriskany Boulevard in Whitesboro, New York. We're changing the game. We're a locally owned pharmacy, and we'll treat you like family. With fast, friendly service, no-wait immunizations, and automatic refills, we ensure that you never miss a dose. Pick up the phone and give us a call at 315-790-5300, and you won't have to sit on hold with an automated answering system. You'll be able to actually reach out to a person. You won't have to wait in a long line only to find out that your prescription isn't ready or is not in stock. We offer a wide range of services, including text message alerts when your prescriptions are ready. We have an app that you can manage your medications in, and we offer free delivery across all of Oneida County. And with 75 years of combined pharmacist experience, we're here to serve you quickly, reliably, and with a smile. Need a script, make the stop, or just call Script Stop.
Brought to you by Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
Medicare Part D open enrollment is now through December 7th. It can be confusing to compare plan coverages, premiums, and deductibles all on your own. Looking for an easier way? Go to KinneyDrugs.com for a free online tool that helps you with specific prescriptions. Or call 844-653-5063 to compare plans and enroll right over the phone. Ask your Kinney pharmacist or visit KinneyDrugs.com.
How about now? Oh.
Check.
So weird. This thing just shorted. Now I have it. See if he has us. Tom will do.
Take your pick. A $1,500 prepaid Visa card, a massage chair, or a 100-inch TV. Thanksgiving night only. All staff working voluntarily.
This message is paid for by friends of Michael Gentile.
Hi, I'm Michael Gentile, your Oneida County legislator for Utica's 23rd District. I've always believed in hard work, honesty, and giving back to the community that raised me. I focused on improving public safety, supporting families, and investing in projects that strengthen our neighborhoods and improve quality of life across the 23rd District and all of Oneida County. This election, I respectfully ask for your vote so we can keep our community moving forward. I'm Michael Gentile, and I'm proud to serve you.
Sunshine, 43 degrees. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time is 8:08. We apologize for the tech there. This news update is brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. Today is Election Day. The polls are already open and will be open until 9 tonight. Check your local Board of Elections for your specific polling location. An investigation continues after a shooting on the SUNY Morrisville campus. Authorities say a 20-year-old non-student was shot in the neck yesterday inside the South Hall dormitory. That victim was brought to a nearby hospital for treatment and is expected to survive. Authorities say it was a targeted event and that there are no further threats on campus. Thus far, no arrests have been made. An update to a single vehicle crash on Stedman Road in the town of Lee that resulted in the death of one. The United County Sheriff's Office identifying the driver as 19-year-old Owen Smith of Lee Center. Authorities say his vehicle left the road and collided with a tree. He was pronounced dead at Rome Hospital shortly after the accident. A hiker was found safe after slipping down a ravine in Boonville. The sheriff's office was called at around 3 o'clock yesterday to the Black River Environmental Improvement Association trail system. The 42-year-old man with special needs was hiking with his mother. They became separated after he slipped. His mother called 911. Authorities used ATVs and drones to safely locate the man at around 5 o'clock last evening. And Price Chopper Market 32 is stepping up to help people impacted by the SNAP benefits crisis. The supermarket chain is cutting prices on nearly 30 grocery items to help families put food on their table. Those items include eggs, Pix brand pasta, avocado, red or green grapes, English muffins, and several cereals, along with other items. SNAP benefits, of course, have been on hold since Saturday. However, the Trump administration has now agreed to partially fund them. Those discounts will be available through November 8th. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time is 8:10. Here's your forecast.
Early this morning, maybe a couple of leftover
It's
showers.
sunny
Otherwise,
and
sunshine,
43.
clouds, and a gusty west breeze today. Low 50s. Tonight, partial clouds, mid-30s, colder in the Adirondacks. Rain chances going up tomorrow afternoon, up into the mid-50s. Rain tomorrow night, showers around early Thursday.
Started unplugging things on us, and it was
like
really
that time
a
he tried to
travesty.
drown you in the pool.
It was very similar to that time. Yes, hold on. I got to get your mic up, and for some reason, I don't have you up. Let me hear you, Joe.
Can you hear me now?
No, I don't know what's going on with that one. There's no switch on that.
Can you hear now?
Yeah, you
All
can
right.
do an introduction.
All right.
Go ahead while I
All right,
figure
we got
this out.
Pat McGrath here. I kind of think maybe everything went dead when he showed up, so I'm not sure
Might
why.
be it.
But so, hey, McGrath, you got any news for us? Anything special? There's no Shamrocks with you today, apparently.
No, and speaking of Shamrocks, in 130 days, we're going to be marching down Genesee Street.
Who's counting?
We're already talking about it. Yeah.
We are, and I came here for coffee, to see you guys, and here we are. I got invited on, and it's exciting that we're going to be looking for a grand marshal soon. Maybe Joe Griffo someday. Probably not this year. Maybe never. Who knows?
An Italian.
So Griff, but I don't think I'll get that honor. But I appreciate it.
Have you done your 23andMe yet?
I have not.
Because you may find that you may have like an ounce, a little bit of like 1% of Irish in you. It's certainly possible.
Like Elizabeth Warren. Find that out. That'd be a good thing. So.
Like Elizabeth Warren, yeah.
For the amount he's done for the community and all you guys, it's anybody's year,
It is
anytime.
true.
So
yeah.
It's not Joe Griffo, it's O Griffo.
Oh, Griffo.
It's O Griff. You just take the O from the back
Griff.
and put it in front. O Griff.
O
O Griff.
That would actually work.
So it works.
Well, listen, we're looking forward to it.
So are we.
Great to see the next generation keeping this incredible tradition alive here.
Thank you. It's an honor to do it, and make sure everyone gets out and votes today and nominate your grand marshal starting next month. So.
All right, we'll get ready for that.
Like America's Got Talent or The Voice, right? You get the vote and everything for the grand marshal.
Is that how you do it? You can nominate, and then
you nominate, and
the
then
executive
the board
committee
gets together and looks at the quality of the nomination, and we select who's going to lead us. So
we've been studying. Both Jeff and I have been studying Paul Buckley. This subconscious. It's a subconscious thing.
Yes.
Paul Buckley, where you.
I think Paul Buckley would be
subliminal
great.
messages.
Subliminal messaging that Paul Buckley would maybe possibly come. I don't know.
He's got the energy. We know that. We just got to figure him out.
That's right.
and
That's right.
keep him under control a little
He's
bit.
not easy to figure out, no doubt. But Paul, if you're listening, we're gunning for you, Paul Buckley.
Great guy. Joe just honored Paul Buckley the other day with the
Yes.
City Commendation Award. So congrats, Paul Buckley. You do a great job for the city. And
Very nice.
We love having you, and we're honored.
And we have two of you. Bill Keeler received the medal of commendation, as well as Mr. McGrath. So now that Jeff's back, I know that.
Uh-oh.
Carter. We may do Carter first. I don't know.
That's fine.
You
That's
were,
fine.
he was a few years ago, I think, with my father-in-law at that time. Yeah.
So,
That's right.
but no, thanks a lot. We got a big crowd coming in now at the Marlog. I want to thank Johnny Marafa and the crew here. They do a great job. I know the county executive has just walked in, as well as the sheriff.
Listen, it's election day, and it's a time where it is, and you may not have the biggest of races in your district, but these Supreme Court candidates, Joe, for just a minute, how important it is, and here I would assume we aren't talking Democrat or Republican. I never know where you're going with this, but I would like to know. My take on it is keeping as many of these judicial seats here locally is important.
Yeah, absolutely. There was always a handshake in the past where every county had representation. That kind of went astray because the bigger counties started to absorb and take more. They just took more control, and as a result of that, now though, the judicial races are very important. But with the restructuring of this, it's going to be quite interesting as we move forward. And I think the intent wasn't great because I think they're just trying again to put more of a political affiliation. The Democrat majorities now are in charge, and they're taking different steps to ensure that. I always believe and hope that the judiciary remains independent because that's so important. It's an important aspect of our governmental structure and democracy. And it'll be interesting as we move forward to see how this works. Onondaga County will be all by itself, and then Oneida will go east and west. It's kind of a strange kind of configuration again.
It should make us the largest municipality, largest population base in that district.
Of the new district, it probably will, because you'll be with Herkimer and Oswego, and but you go out to Seneca. So, yeah, and if you look at population, Oneida, but again, you're going to try to find balance, right? Because many of these areas are going to want representation in the courts, too, and you're going to need them because these judges sit in these particular regions. So you're not going to get somebody, from Little Falls to want to go sit out in Oswego, you know?
All right, Joe, we have a whole hour to pack in here and a lot to get to. I see Jim Rondinelli's made his way in. Stefan Rubitsky's over there. The county executive. I see the sheriff. It's all loaded up here on Election Day. Get out there and vote. It is that important day. You have till 9 o'clock tonight. The polls will be open till 9 p.m. tonight to cast your vote.
So the county exec, he can weigh in on these even year things that are going to be happening, too. I don't know if maybe we'll go bring him in now, interrupt his breakfast.
Let me break first, and let's bring him in next, because we also want to – I know he wants to respond to Mr. Fusco, who was on yesterday talking about that Deerfield housing project. Do you have any input on that? Do you want to dip into that? Think about it. We'll get it on the other side. I got to do a quick break here. It's Election Day 2025. We're coming right back to Martlog on the Joe Time broadcast on WIBX.
We are here with Tom Giglio from Script Stop Pharmacy, Oriskany Boulevard in Whitesboro, our industry ace. What sets you apart from other pharmacies?
Script Stop Pharmacy, 131 Oriskany Boulevard in Whitesboro, New York. We're changing the game. We're a locally owned pharmacy, and we'll treat you like family. With fast, friendly service, no-wait immunizations, and automatic refills, we ensure that you never miss a dose. Pick up the phone and give us a call at 315-790-5300, and you won't have to sit on hold with an automated answering system. You'll be able to actually reach out to a person. You won't have to wait in a long line only to find out that your prescription isn't ready or is not in stock. We offer a wide range of services, including text message alerts when your prescriptions are ready. We have an app that you can manage your medications in, and we offer free delivery across all of Oneida County. And with 75 years of combined pharmacist experience, we're here to serve you quickly, reliably, and with a smile. Need a script, make the stop, or just call Script Stop.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
It's RSV season. Is your baby protected? RSV is the #1 cause of hospitalization in all infants. Protect your baby from severe RSV with an immunization.
I think he's having trouble breathing.
A vaccine during pregnancy or preventive antibody is now available. Help prevent RSV before it happens. Learn more by visiting lung.org/RSV.
Furnished by the American Lung Association.
Whatever you need to haul, landscaping tools, heavy construction gear, or even livestock, Clinton Tractor has the trailer for the job. Choose steel, aluminum, or galvanized frames from 500 pounds to 55 tons with trusted names like B-Wise, Eager Beaver, and EB. For trailers, parts, and service you can count on, visit the Caledona family at Clinton Tractor.
We are the leader in service, Clinton Tractor.
ClintonTractor.net.
Hey everyone, it's Lisa from Fit Body Boot Camp in Whitesboro and Clinton. Life can be tough, full of judgment and negativity, but for 30 minutes a day, you can forget all that and focus on yourself. Just like one of our members, Irene, who mentions that everyone's cheering for each other, pushing through the sweat, the tough moments, and even the stuff that feels a little sucky. Irene also mentions finding the strength, the confidence, and a real fitness family here is outstanding. Come join us, embrace the challenge, and find your fitness home at Fit Body Boot Camp in Whitesboro and Clinton, where real support meets real results.
Some firsts you'd like to leave in the rearview mirror. Other firsts are life-changing. 90 years ago, Nokian tires changed driving with our first, the invention of the winter tire. Today, we're still the leader in winter driving with more than 100 patents and 200 days of testing in the Arctic every year. Winter is our first love. Make winter safety your first priority. Nokian tires. First things first. Visit Tolman's Tire and Auto Repair in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, or online at tolmanstire.com.
This message is paid for by friends of Michael Gentile.
Hi, I'm Michael Gentile, your Oneida County legislator for Utica's 23rd District. I've always believed in hard work, honesty, and giving back to the community that raised me. I focused on improving public safety, supporting families, and investing in projects that strengthen our neighborhoods and improve quality of life across the 23rd District and all of Oneida County. This election, I respectfully ask for your vote so we can keep our community moving forward. I'm Michael Gentile, and I'm proud to serve you.
Hello, everyone in Central New York. This is Dave Letterman, your old TV pal. Remember me? I'm supposed to say something witty and funny here about Bill Keeler, but I've got nothing. Ever see a picture of this guy? That's a joke in itself. Anyhow, here's Keeler on WIBX.
Well, the sun is shining, and when you know you're in for a good day when the sun is shining. And Stefan Rubitsky in his Mets hat is just a little bit over there in the corner. There he is. Stefan mentioned Snap Card. His Snap funding is not arriving right now, so we'll talk about that a little bit in a second. The county executive coming right in. Tanya J. Powers is in New York with Fox News Radio, and today, of course, is Election Day, and there are some key races going on, of course, in New York and New Jersey. Tanya, good morning.
Good morning. Yes, there has been a lot of interest in the New York City mayor's race, also the Virginia governor's race and the New Jersey governor's race. All of these are being closely watched by political watchers and folks who really pay attention to this kind of stuff. The New York City mayor's race, first of all, I mean, that's gotten a lot of interest across the country. I can't tell you how many people, when I talk to stations around the country, have asked me about the mayor's race. Even just anecdotally, it's been nuts.
We had we had a former state senator, Democrat, from New York on this morning. That was
Senator Diaz.
And then we had the guy who owns Stan's Bar across from Yankee Stadium, who is the Bronx Republican chairman. The Democrat calling for Cuomo to have an upset victory. And interestingly, Mike Rendino, the Republican, saying, absolutely not. I would rather have Mandami than Cuomo. And he's the Republican. Very interesting. So it's almost like a Civil War type feel in New York City.
Well, nobody's called it that yet. So that is an interesting way to put it. It is one of those things that has hit. We've seen a lot of people who definitely would not be they don't fit into political boxes. Let me put it that way. And I think nothing highlights that like the fact that Trump has backed Cuomo, which again, I never thought I would say that sentence. But he has, albeit reluctantly, endorsed Cuomo, kind of an 11th hour sort of thing. Trump said Mamdani would bring disaster to the city. He went so far. Now, the Republican president urging the Republican candidate backers to vote for somebody else is quite stunning in itself, but that is exactly what he did. Trump encouraged the voters who were supporting Curtis Sliwa, the Republican candidate, to vote for Cuomo instead. He has, of course, Trump has, threatened to withhold federal funding from the city if Mamdani is elected. He's also kind of taking aim once again at the congestion pricing stuff that has been done here and saying he wants the transportation secretary to look into that. So this is, kind of a threat if Mamdani is elected. I don't know that this is going to have a lot of sway with the voters one way or the other, but that's the way he apparently feels.
I do almost think that that President Trump telling Republicans, that's one thing, to vote for Cuomo and not for Sliwa, who really doesn't have a chance to win. When we did speak to the Republican chair in the Bronx, Mike Rendino, they are absolutely supporting Sliwa. So it's a big race. It's going to have national implications, but so is that governor's race in New Jersey.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, that is one of the closely watched ones. That is, of course, Jack Ciattarelli, the Republican candidate, former state legislator. He is endorsed by President Trump. This is his third time running for governor. He's facing Representative Mikey Sherrill, who is a Democrat in her fourth term in Congress. She served as a Navy officer, a helicopter pilot. If she wins, she would be the state's second female governor if elected. She's also gotten some high-profile Democratic support. These folks have come out and rallied for her in New Jersey. That includes former President Obama, Democratic governors like Gretchen Whitmer of Michigan and Josh Shapiro of Pennsylvania. So she's had some high-powered help in her run as well.
All right, it's going to be interesting. It's what everybody's going to be talking about tomorrow. There's no doubt. At least we hope to have results tomorrow. You just never know these days. Tanya, as always, we appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Sure. Thank you.
Have a great day. Tanya J. Powers with Fox News Radio. It's Joe time, Election Day, and in our Marlog studio is the county executive, Anthony Pacenti. And good morning.
Good morning.
So what do you think of this very interesting New York City race? Getting a lot of national attention.
It really is. Well, I think it does, it's deserved attention because I think it is going to have an impact, not just across New York State, but across the country. And depending on which way it goes, it's going to be an interesting dynamic. And I think that it's, in some ways, it may be the shape of things to come, that you're going to have this diverse type of government thought or government think that either the extreme left or the extreme right, and there's not many in the middle anymore.
I got to tell you, we have no one to blame but the parents of my generation. We brought our kids up to think that everything is free. You get handout here, handout there, and that's what they're vehemently voting for. This younger versus 35 plus is. They're all in for Mandami.
But people still have to be realistic here. Look, as someone who's run a government, and I'm next to a guy who's run a couple of them as well, there is no way to do that. And anybody, we're in a place here. It's a business place. I mean, government. Everybody says run government like a business. It is. I mean, you cannot continue to provide services or just give things away. You can't.
Right.
And the point I raised, County Executive, and I think you would understand this too, and through history, what happens in the city will have an impact here upstate. And that's why people upstate have to be concerned right now about and have an interest in the downstate outcome, because if you remember under in the mid-'70s, Governor Carey had the state of New York had to go in and rescue the city.
Right.
And that's on the backs of all of New York State residents, not just the people of New York City.
Not to mention, if you're a Democrat and you're running in the upcoming midterms for Congress, if you don't think this is going to be used against you in commercials, even Nancy Pelosi's like, finally the spotlight will be off me. It is going to be used in the midterms. Republicans will use this, saying this is the new face of the Democratic Party.
Well, yeah, it is, and it's going to, and it's going to have an immediate impact because, the minute, even though he doesn't take office till January, that is going to have an impact.
Yeah,
and it's going to start changing literally tomorrow if that is the outcome, and it's going to have an impact clearly on, the senator's got to deal with it. Come January with the governor's budget. I mean, what is she going to do?
Right.
In response to this, and in response to what those needs are or what those decisions are. So, this is not this is not a spot I ever thought we'd be in to this extreme. And look, we always know that New York City has been to the left. That's what has been steering. That's part of the reason we haven't had a Republican governor in 20.
Right.
In 20 years.
I want to ask you, it is interesting to see how everyone reacted in the region, whether it be Oneida County, Onondaga, even Herkimer County. Everyone reacted to the shooting yesterday at Morrisville.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, to our knowledge, we still do not have a suspect in custody, although I believe we know there are two people of interest. And the person who was shot was taken to upstate in Syracuse and was being treated for non-life-threatening injuries. But it's a fact of life. It's stuff we have to deal with today.
It is, and look, we have to we've had to change our way of working in our buildings, but also at the college, and obviously we have MBCC that is under our responsibility, and so. All of these things just heighten everything, when they happen, especially when it's so close in Morrisville. And obviously, I hope the victim is fine, but, we also need to find this person, but we also need to find what happened and how and where.
And how do you prevent it from happening?
Exactly. And Tony, what I indicated too, my concern yesterday was the governor. I understand the need to be briefed, but then their office took over all the communications. And I think that's something that SUNY could have and should have been handling from SUNY Central, if not the university specific. And that becomes some of the issues, right? Where they.
Yeah, I think, and that obviously the sheriff's here this morning. But I think, when there's an emergency situation like that, there has to be cautionary, response, rather than, full blown, because then it causes even more. Even more. And I think that, to Joe's point, that's something that, I know that every, and it started, I think, years past that every time there was a little incident, everybody had to come in and just jump in on it. And look, that's natural reaction.
You'd have to hold up for Cuomo to arrive.
You would have to, well,
right?
yeah. I mean, absolutely. Absolutely. I always said that about.
He'd have to change into his "I'm out there fighting" gear with his bomber jacket, and he would fly in.
But there's a way and reason to do that.
Well, don't you put people in charge and you allow those people to do their job?
Well, look, I think
people
everybody
that you trust.
Everybody needs to be briefed. Every elected,
Yeah.
Depending on who's in charge of that situation, just like anything else. But then again, you got to let the system work the way it's supposed to.
I think the presence is important because it shows support and the willingness to coordinate and direct the resources that may be necessary, but you also don't want to get in the way. You
right,
let
exactly.
the first
That's one of
responders
the things
do their
I've
job.
I've never done in those situations.
The other thing, if we can, just to pivot a little bit here, because while we have the county exec, we talk it's election day.
Yep.
This even year,
Oh,
I think
my
it's
God.
important because he played an integral role in trying to tell the state and the legislators are making a mistake here, and it's being based on politics, not on solid policy. So maybe you can weigh in and explain.
Everybody's up again next year.
Everybody's up again next year, and
Yeah.
in 27, when my seat comes up, it'll be a 3-year term, not a 4-year term. Same for the controller. It really does take away the ability of local governments for self-control,
yeah.
which was granted by the Constitution to the charter, but the legislature, not Joe, the Democrat legislator and the Democrat governor who proposed this, did it under the guise that it would save money. Well, there are elections today, okay, in an odd year. Every polling place is open. Every polling place will continue to be open. There's no cost savings here. You're still going to be running elections every single year.
Yeah.
And yes, are there greater turnouts in even years when guys like when the senator runs, when the governor runs, when the president runs? Of course. But that's not going to grow anymore.
Right.
It's just going to be where it is.
Yeah.
So you're not changing that, and what you're doing is putting the local issues on the back burner, so that our stories can be told, so that our message can get out there.
Well,
because
you're gonna
can't compete with. You've been in the
airwaves
business.
the
You're
airwaves
in the
are going to be
business.
flooded in this congressional race. And
Flooded.
remember, if it stays this way, we have 2 Congress people trying to become reelected or elected in this district.
Well, those congressional races cost the last time, combined $36 million.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Like I ran 2 years ago. My race cost less than $200,000.
Yeah.
Put that in comparison of what I would have to compete with in terms
Just
of
with,
airtime.
with commercial rates.
In terms of airtime, but also in getting
Yeah.
my message out. If nobody's
Yeah.
going to want to hear it, they're going to want to know what's going on, which they should.
Yeah.
And that has been always the other basis of keeping those elections
Yeah.
in the odd years.
I want to ask you 2 quickies here, maybe not so quick, but 2. Number 1, when we had Marianne Buttonshaw on, the Assemblywoman told us municipalities are able to opt out of the electric mandate for new construction, meaning you could say the infrastructure, and it's based on if the infrastructure doesn't exist, you can step up and say, we as Oneida County are opting out because we don't have the infrastructure to require new construction to be all electric. What do you know about that?
I didn't know about that. I know that every time they do these things, usually when they say municipalities, they leave it individually. They don't leave it to the counties at times.
That may be the case.
Maybe in the cities and in the towns in that regard. If that is the case, though, if the county can, I'll be the first in line to do that because
I know.
Regardless of that fact, I think it's just been the most foolish example of trying to change the structure that can be sustained.
Planning any new housing lately? Anything planned? Maybe Deerfield?
Please.
Do you want to talk about that?
Well, real quickly, I don't want to make it a tit for tat every time Mr. Fusco or anybody comes on. I just wanted to respond to 2 things. I thought it was curious on the radius thing of the neighborhood because I had stated it was a neighborhood. 1.3. I was wanting to know how he got to just 1.3 miles. And not anything else.
I think he said 2.1, actually.
Was it 2.1?
I thought he said 2.1.
Well,
because it took it all the way down, down to River Road.
So I live in Rome, and I had asked, and somebody had asked the question, what about if it was in my neighborhood? So if I draw a 2-mile radius from my house, I'm in downtown Rome. I'm in West Rome. I'm in a lot of different places. Okay, so I'm equal to that. So. Does that mean none of those housing projects should be in that 2-mile radius? The second thing was the ridiculous statement of this is where they put warming centers and I don't know what other term.
Like it was small housing for homeless people.
No, that's not where we do that. And, that's a decision that we make. And those decisions are based on where people are.
Right.
And they're in the cities. And quite frankly, and he should know that. That's just a ridiculous statement to make. That the presumption that we're going to do all these different things at this housing project. And the other thing about daycare is for people who work.
Right.
Daycare is not for people who stay home and want to put their kids down the street.
The problem is for a lot of people, it becomes if you're a single mom and you're trying to work and you look at what daycare is costing versus what you're making, sometimes it's better just to stay home.
There's an old saying that I can't use on the air, but I mean the point is then, don't kid people. Just say you're against it and move on.
Yeah.
Let's do it. I mean, if that's the case. But, I mean, it's just ridiculous that we're getting into all these
Do we
other
know
scenarios.
when that will be voted on? Do you have
I don't.
any idea?
I don't
I think
know
the planning board meets tomorrow night
I think so.
on it.
I think so.
Okay.
Anyway.
It is interesting. Well, I hate to say, but this is one of those classic, we need this, but just don't do it in my
Just do it in
neck
my
of the
backyard.
woods. Yeah. All right, County Executive,
Thank you very much. Make sure everybody votes today.
Get out
Thank
and
you for
vote.
doing this.
Thank you so much.
Thank
We'll break and come back. We have the sheriff here. We have Mayor Lanigan. And, everybody's here. Everybody's here, it seems.
Yeah, they're all coming in.
At Marlog. It's Election Day, part of Joe Time. And we'll come back to East Utica next on WIBX.
Now that we're getting older, we've been putting more thought into maintaining our health.
We knew the water we drink every day could be filled with contaminants, so
We called Leaf Home Water Solutions.
they came to our home and did a free water test and gave us the analysis right away.
We were shocked at what we saw.
They found heavy metals like iron and copper.
Our own tap water was putting our health at risk, but Leaf Home Water Solutions made it easy to get safer water from every tap and hose. A whole home solution.
They have more than 250 product combinations and designed a system that fits our needs and budget. The installation took less than a day.
With Leaf Home Water Solutions, our water is safer and healthier. When we drink, when we cook, when we shower, even when we garden.
We feel better about our health.
Thanks to Leaf Home Water Solutions.
Schedule your free home water test today at leafhome.com/free and save 15% on all home water treatment systems. That's leafhome.com/free for your free home water test and 15% off. leafhome.com/free.
At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple: to make better hearing affordable for everyone. We're proud to offer high-quality, rechargeable hearing aids starting at just $98. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and hear the difference today by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Mattress Express's legendary Thanksgiving night sale is on 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. Thanksgiving night only. Take your pick: a $1,500 prepaid Visa card, a massage chair, or a 100-inch TV. Thanksgiving night only. All staff working voluntarily.
Whatever you need to haul, landscaping tools, heavy construction gear, or even livestock, Clinton Tractor has the trailer for the job. Choose steel, aluminum, or galvanized frames from 500 pounds to 55 tons with trusted names like Be-Wise, Eager Beaver, and EB. For trailers, parts, and service you can count on, visit the Caledona family at Clinton Tractor.
We are the leader in service, Clinton Tractor.
ClintonTractor.net.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install a Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
This message is paid for by friends of Michael Gentile.
Hi, I'm Michael Gentile, your Oneida County legislator for Utica's 23rd District. I've always believed in hard work, honesty, and giving back to the community that raised me. I focused on improving public safety, supporting families, and investing in projects that strengthen our neighborhoods and improve quality of life across the 23rd District and all of Oneida County. This election, I respectfully ask for your vote so we can keep our community moving forward. I'm Michael Gentile, and I'm proud to serve you.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
A bit unsettled as we continue to push on through early this morning. Maybe a couple of leftover showers. Otherwise, sunshine, clouds, and a gusty west breeze today. Low 50s. Tonight, partial clouds, mid-30s. Colder in the Adirondacks. Rain chances going up tomorrow afternoon, up into the mid-50s. Rain tomorrow night. Showers around early Thursday. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Good.
Best interview he's had.
Yep, it was really good. All right, let's see. We're back here at, it's Election Day. It is Election Day. And we're at Marlog with Senator Joe Griffo. And, Joe, you attract, they're all here now.
Yeah, this is a big crowd. Johnny Marafa, we want to thank you. And not only do you have a lot of people here, but you got elected officials, you got candidates on both sides that are here. I saw both Utica City Comptroller candidates are here. Some of the judicial candidates are here. And Mayor Lanigan, thanks for being here.
Absolutely.
The mayor's here to protect me, though.
Can I just say to the comptroller candidate, Mr. Sermonaro, we ate at Valley View Saturday night. That place, what a job he has done. It's just, have you seen what
I've been
Sal
there.
has done
Sal
there?
Longo has done an
Holy
extraordinary
cow.
job. But he's the kind of guy, with his
no corners cut.
No corners cut. I mean, he just steps up and he directs resources and he cares about this community, and he's just an amazing guy.
I mean, you don't even recognize when you drive into the parking lot. You don't even recognize the place. So really good.
So
is that open tonight? Okay,
Tito's.
all right.
The mayor's here, and Mayor, thanks for being here.
Absolutely.
I'm doing a little home improvement over at our place, so I may have to go stay at the mayor's. But I want to thank Bill Wilsey Sr. He's doing the plaster work, so good man. And he listens to you, he says, every day.
That's good. Wise man. Very wise. Obviously, Election Day, and you want to see, we all want to see people get out and vote.
Absolutely. It's a big day today. Not a lot of major people on the ballot today, but there's a lot of counselors and legislators and things that are on that ballot. So we want to see people get out today, vote, and have your voice be heard. That's the biggest thing. Is you got to get out there.
We heard it might have been this week that there's still funding available for disaster relief for people who've had damage from the tornadoes. There is still some funding out there, so.
Yes, we're still piling through all that. The requests have come through and getting that funding out. Right now, a big thing in Rome is we're doing our tree campaign where we're trying to get out there to get trees planted. We lost such a major part of our canopy in the city of Rome. Adirondack Bank was great to give us a kickoff donation of $20,000 to go into that account. And we're taking right now we're taking requests for people that would like trees in their city right-of-ways in front of their homes to try to build that canopy back.
Yeah.
So we're still in the process of rebuilding.
You don't think about those little things. They're not little things. When those trees all go down, it just changes the entire look of a matured neighborhood,
For sure.
So,
and then I see Rock Arcuri here. I know Adirondack has really stepped up too, and we appreciate their role in the community too. It's an important partnership.
Yes, they've been an incredible partner. I know out in Utica, out here they have been, but in Rome, they've stepped up and been a great partner of ours.
Nice.
So.
And we do have an extreme weather bill that we put in, Assemblyman Buttonshine and I, because we need to deal with these things differently now because they're happening more regularly. And the state has been there, but I think the state can and should do more. And Rome is a perfect illustration. He's been hit twice within a year, and even though the governor came, there's still a lot more things they could have and should have done, in my opinion, and hopefully we'll see that.
Yeah.
Did you name it the Lanigan bill?
The Lanigan bill, that's right. Disaster
Yeah,
Lanigan,
it's,
right?
It's true.
It's well, listen, we have another winter and another spring and summer to deal with. That again, they're saying everything is going to be similar to last year. Well, I hope not. Right?
Well, it's trial by fire, and you've done a good job, though, considering all that you've had to balance. And that's what we're talking about, even in New York City. Obviously, different sizes.
Yeah.
But when you're running that government, you've got to be prepared and ready to do the things that Jeff Lanigan did, working with Tony Pacenti and things of that nature, So it's not easy, as people, as you know now.
Yeah, and we're really blessed here with a great team, whether it's me as a mayor, Galimi as a mayor, Tony at county executive, Joe, Marianne at the state level. We all work well together, so it makes things really easy. When we do need help, these guys are the first ones at the door to lend a hand, so I appreciate all of that. So thank you, Joe.
All right, Mayor Lanigan, thank you.
Thank you.
Reminding people to get out there and vote. Jack Lemetico over here, good morning.
Good morning. How's everybody doing today?
Good. You have any recommendations for people as they get out and vote today?
Yeah, I think they ought to vote for Jack Lemetico and the rest of the Democratic Party. We have some great people running this year, very strong people. So it's been a long, clean battle this time. I feel like I'm one of them lawn signs, when you first put up the real strong and tough. After a couple of bad windstorms near the end of the election, you're wavering a little bit.
Maybe wobble, a little
great.
wobble, a little wobble on the sign there, just a little bit. But obviously, it is important for everybody to get out there and vote.
Absolutely. And, like I said, I run a good, clean election. I work well on both sides of the aisle, as you know. And I hope all the candidates do well. We have another good candidate at large, Heather Wazowski. She's with us today. She's working hard. And I'm hoping that the Democrats do well today.
All right. Jack, we appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Good luck out there.
Right.
I'm going to take a quick break, Davey, and then we'll come back. We could get an impromptu comptroller debate right here because they're both here this morning. So what do you think about that?
Let's do it.
All right. Quick break, and we'll come back. Stand by at WIBX.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio.
We'll absolutely.
Is that okay?
Yeah, I think.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple: to make better hearing affordable for everyone. We're proud to offer high-quality, rechargeable hearing aids starting at just $98. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and hear the difference today by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Celebrating 100 years. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Okay, we're back. We are back here at Marlog, and all of a sudden, this is Candidate Alley, I believe, where all the candidates seem to be gathering. And, yep, thank you. And right now, I have Elizabeth Snyder Fortino, who is one of the 8 candidates running for Supreme Court. And good morning.
Good morning.
We'll give you a chance to just send a little message out to people here this morning.
Sure, yeah, no, I'm just excited. It's been a great journey, and I've been practicing law for 24 years. I work in the courts for 22 years, running an agency called Mental Hygiene Legal Service, and I've been very grateful to get a lot of endorsements and outstanding bar ratings. Everybody's gave me highly qualified. I'm just ready to take this next step.
I know we talked to the senator a little while ago about how the importance of making sure that we keep these seats here and vote locally, except you're asking for people not to vote for your uncle. Is that that's not true?
He's from Herkimer County, but yes, he's also on the ticket. Yes,
yeah.
yes.
All right, well, listen, good luck. And
thank you.
We thank you for stopping
Thank
by.
you very much. Appreciate
right.
it. Have a good one.
Yeah, you do the same, and good luck. Heather, I'm going to have you sneak right in here quickly, and then we'll go over here.
And then a lot of these, on the judicial side, we've got some great candidates. My former corporation counsel, Judge Amoroso,
Yes.
is running, as well as Lydia Young from Lewis County, who I've run with, and Judge McCluskey, who is there already seated and running for re-election, and Judge Kilmartin out of Onondaga County. So that's on the other side, so that we're playing balance.
And
there.
her uncle Snyder is running
Herkimer
as
County,
well,
I
from Herkimer
believe.
County. So, that's a part of the fifth judicial. Yeah,
It's
don't
kind of
exclude
funny,
Herkimer
the
County.
The fifth judicial district excludes Madison County, believe it or not. So it goes Onondaga to Oneida.
Yet all
which
of that is about to change.
And that will
as
all
well.
change again because
Craziness.
Oneida will go all the way out to Wayne and Seneca.
Heather Waslewski is running for Common Council member at large, and she has made her way here. It's the Marlog. It's where we all are for Election Day. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Give you a chance to just plug, tell people the importance of getting out to vote today.
Well, this is the most attainable, accessible form of government, so it's really important that people get out and vote. It's the one time you can actually sit with people who make the laws in your community, who take care of the problems and issues. Like literally any of us, you can come and call us and say, hey, meet me for coffee. I want to talk about things.
Yeah.
I've had a blast running in this campaign. I've knocked on over 1,600 doors. I've met a lot of amazing people. And I am here to represent the people, not the administration, not the council, just the people, and I can't wait.
All right. Well, good luck today, and we'll keep an eye on your race.
Great. Thanks.
All right. Thank you so much. Tony Leone over here on that microphone. I got mics all over. When you're out of your studio, you're out of your element. Joe time is fun, but it's a little more work.
You've done well, though. You're balancing it well, except when Pat McGrath shows up, and then everything goes dead.
All hell goes, right? Everything goes south. Tony, good morning.
Good morning, Bill.
Again, you know the routine here. Tell people why they should vote and get out and vote for you today.
Well, I've been in business for 50 years, and I hope to work hard for the people of Oneida County like I have for my customers for 50 years. And that's basically, I work hard, I get the job done, I'm a people person, I get along with people, and I think it's very important on the county legislative to get along with everybody,
Yeah.
so we can get the job done.
It does seem like we're at a point where things are we're moving in a good direction.
Yes.
For those of us who've lived here for a long time, it's been a long haul, but things are moving in the right direction.
Yeah. I have the experience. I've been in politics for 30 years just about now, and experience as a mayor in Yorkville, a village board in Yorkville. I was 4 years on the county legislature from 2019 to 2023, and I hope to serve the people again of North Utica and East Utica here.
All right. Well, good luck, and we'll keep an eye on your race.
Thank you for having me.
Time is ticking. A comptroller candidate. We literally could have a massive debate. From candidate to candidate. Frank Miola is there's a microphone for you. Frank, it's down to the stretch.
Bill, you love action, don't you? You got that look in your eye, you got that
There's
smile
a
on
lot
your
going
face.
on.
Isn't it action?
Still trying to figure out how we could go till 9:30 and do a debate.
This is 9:30? I thought it was 9
no,
o'clock.
9 o'clock.
Oh,
yeah.
come on.
Yeah.
Let's get one going. Come on.
You
bring
only
it.
have a second.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Obviously, get your message out to people.
I worked hard in the past to cut many budgets in the city of Utica. I like to be cost effective. I like to give people what their dollars are worth, and I like to make sure to work with what we have. Instead of going to the taxpayers on every increase and every dime we need, let's work with the monies we have. Let's make it grow. It's just like investment. The people in the city of Utica want to see something happening with their money, and plus, if I'm fortunate enough to get in, any type of moving of their money or any type where the money is being spent, I will put a website together, a dashboard, which they will know exactly how their money's spent during the year.
All right, well, good luck. We'll keep an eye.
Bill, please
tonight.
vote Frank Miola.
Okay.
Thank
I'd have to cross the line in a couple of different ways. But, all right, thank you, Frank. Over to Sheriff Rob Mashel.
Good morning.
Sheriff, good morning. And
am I your closer today?
You're the closer.
Awesome.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Tell me, Davey, you're going to have to move that spot at the top. Anything new on Morrisville that you know of?
No, that's actually obviously Madison County.
State police as well.
We were aware of everything happening. We're in complete contact with them just in case anything trickled over our way.
Yeah.
But they stressed that there's no one in danger, and it was obviously not a lot of details out.
Something personal, targeted. Something was. Seems like 3 people involved, 1 victim, and he is going to survive.
Yes.
But when these things happen, it affects everybody.
Oh, my phone was blowing up because obviously people here that have kids at Morrisville. But again, like I said, police response was really quick down there. They did an awesome job, getting things under control as quick as they could. And the emergency alert systems, parents were notified, and so, unfortunately, these things happen. But all the training that law enforcement does, it came through at the end.
And I know you guys have released the name of that accident.
Yes.
The town of
So we
Lee.
have a new policy. Yeah. We wait 24 hours now from a time of any fatality, just to give the family time to adjust because they're dealing with a lot of stuff. So.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you. My pleasure.
It all comes back to the Marlog, doesn't it?
Absolutely. One of
Always
my favorite
does.
stops. So.
Senator Griffo, thank you for putting all of this together. It always ends with a bang, and we appreciate it.
Yeah, my pleasure.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, celebrating 100 years.
This is a Fox News alert. I'm Kathleen Maloney. Former Vice President Dick Cheney has died due to complications of pneumonia as well as cardiac and vascular disease. He was 84. In 2004, Cheney accepted his party's vice presidential nomination at the Republican National Convention in New York City.
Mr. Chairman, delegates, distinguished guests, and fellow Americans, I accept your nomination for Vice President of the United States.
Cheney is considered one of the most influential but polarizing VPs in U.S. history. Former President Bush says history will remember him as among the finest public servants of his generation. Voters are going to the polls today in the first major election since President Trump regained the White House. He's voicing support for candidates in several races, including New York City's mayoral contest.
President Donald Trump took to Truth Social yesterday, writing in part, quote, "Whether you personally like Andrew Cuomo or not, you really have no choice." The self-described Democratic socialist Zohran Mamdani told supporters he'd known for months Trump's endorsement of Cuomo was coming. Former Governor Andrew Cuomo, running as an independent, has tried to court conservatives and moderates while also staying in the good graces of Democrats. And Republican candidate Curtis Sliwa said during his last campaign trail blitz that the president could say what he wants. He's trusting the people to decide.
Fox's C.B. Cotton. A large number of early ballots have already been cast in the New York City mayoral election. Voters in New Jersey facing some disruptions at the polls.
The polls have been open throughout New Jersey since about 6 a.m. Since then, a handful of bomb threats have been called in to a number of polling places across the Garden State. We know in Mercer County, as well as where we have seen in Passaic. It's unclear exactly how many of these polling places have been impacted.
Fox's Mark Meredith. New Jersey voters are choosing their next governor. America's listening to Fox News.
Feel that chill in the air? Now's the perfect time to layer up. The outerwear shop is now open at Untuckit with sharp new jackets and vests made for this season and beyond. You'll find all the right layers to keep you warm and looking sharp, including cozy sweaters, sweatshirts, and more. But hurry, fall weather won't wait, and neither should you. So don't miss the outerwear shop, open now at untuckit.com in more than 80 stores worldwide. Untuckit, shirts designed to be worn, untucked.
This month, Pure Talk is supporting Canines for Warriors, a terrific organization that trains rescue dogs and then pairs them up with combat vets struggling with PTSD. This is why I switched. to Pure Talk. Sure, I like the unlimited talk, text, and plenty of 5G data for just $25 a month, and you will too. But you will love being in business with a company that shares your values. Dial pound 250, say micro, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
Now that we're getting older, we've been putting more thought into maintaining our health.
We knew the water we drink every day could be filled with contaminants, so
we called Leaf Home Water Solutions.
They came to our home and did a free water test and gave us the analysis right away.
We were shocked at what we saw.
They found heavy metals like iron and copper.
Our own tap water was putting our health at risk, but Leaf Home Water Solutions made it easy to get safer water from every tap and hose, a whole home solution.
They have more than 250 product combinations and designed a system that fits our needs and budget. The installation took less than a day.
With Leaf Home Water Solutions, our water is safer and healthier. When we drink, when we cook, when we shower, even when we garden.
We feel better about our health.
Thanks to Leaf Home Water Solutions.
Schedule your free home water test today at leafhome.com/free and save 15% on all home water treatment systems. That's leafhome.com/free for your free home water test and 15% off. leafhome.com/free.
Hey everyone, it's Lisa from Fit Body Bootcamp in Whitesboro and Clinton. Life can be tough, full of judgment and negativity. But for 30 minutes a day, you can forget all that and focus on yourself. Just like one of our members, Irene, who mentions that everyone's cheering for each other, pushing through the sweat, the tough moments, and even the stuff that feels a little sucky. Irene also mentions finding the strength, the confidence, and a real fitness family here is outstanding. Come join us, embrace the challenge, and find your fitness home at Fit Body Bootcamp in Whitesboro and Clinton, where real support meets real results.
Brought to you by Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
Some firsts you'd like to leave in the rearview mirror. Other firsts are life-changing. 90 years ago, Nokian tires changed driving with our first, the invention of the winter tire. Today, we're still the leader in winter driving with more than 100 patents and 200 days of testing in the Arctic every year. Winter is our first love. Make winter safety your first priority. Nokian Tires. First things first. Visit Tolman's Tire and Auto Repair in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, or online at tolmanstire.com.
Whitesboro Central School District is looking for bus drivers to join their team now. Whitesboro is a leading school system in central New York with 7 schools, 3,100 students, and a 92% graduation rate. You can help drive our students' success. When you drive for Whitesboro, you get pay that's based on your experience, great benefits, a flexible schedule, and summers off. Call Andy at 315-768-9740 or stop by the garage, 20 Wood Road, Whitesboro.
In the U.S., 1 in 5 children with cancer will not survive. You can help give them more tomorrows. Support St. Jude today.
From high atop Fox News headquarters in New York City, always seeking solutions, never sowing division. It's Brian Kilmeade.
Hi, everyone. Brian Kilmeade here on Election Day, the off-year election with a lot of intensity, a lot of passion, and a big turnout. Early voting through the roof in New Jersey, in Virginia, and especially New York City. And we're also wrestling with some breaking news, and that is the passing of Dick Cheney, the former Vice President, Chief of Staff for Gerald Ford, former Secretary of Defense for George H.W. Bush, and, of course, Vice President for George W. Bush. Used to be CEO of Halliburton, had a fantastic, impactful career, and his role was prominent. And he's been in our lives publicly for 50, 60 years. He's been married for over 60. A real impact, and a conservative's conservative. I thought he had a chance to interview him a number of times. Just a great guy. Well, an up-and-coming conservative who I think has done a fantastic job is the governor of Virginia, Glenn Youngkin, now battling to make sure his lieutenant governor is the next governor. And he joins us from Virginia, and he's worked extremely hard to get her elected. Governor Glenn Youngkin, welcome back to the Brian Kilmeade Show.
Hey, Brian, thank you for having me. It's Election Day, and so I am calling for all conservatives to get out and vote. And we had a great tele-rally last night with President Trump. The organizers told us that there were over 500,000 people involved. And that's just a huge call to get out and vote. President wrapped it up perfectly. He said, vote Republican up and down the ticket, and we can continue to prosper. And if we don't, then we're going to see Virginia go backwards. And I just so appreciate him stepping up. He's done 2 of these for us in the last week. And we got to get out and vote today if we want to keep Virginia moving in the right direction.
So it's really personal to you. You spent your last 4 years you rocked the boat, and you shocked everybody by beating Terry McAuliffe 4 years ago. What did you get done, and what are you concerned most concerned will be undone if Lieutenant Governor Winsome Sears loses?
Well, when we came into office 4 years ago, Virginia was a failing state. We were bottom third in the nation in job growth. We led the nation in learning loss in 4th grade reading and math. And we had a 20-year high in murder rate, and we saw parents being shoved out of their kids' lives. And we just went to work. And so we have had record commitments from businesses to expand and grow in Virginia. $140 billion, Brian. That's more than the last 5 administrations combined. We've seen 277,000 more Virginians go to work. And that $140 billion underpins another 85,000 jobs and 40,000 construction jobs. All of that has underpinned our ability to run surplus after surplus, $10 billion in surpluses. We've had $9 billion of tax relief, where even in a divided government where I have Democrats and controlled our legislators, We've gotten $9 billion back to Virginians. We've worked so tirelessly with the Trump administration in order to make sure that we are arresting violent, illegal criminals and sending them back to where they came from, over 5,000 now. And finally, we have stood strong for law enforcement, and I'm worried all of those things get undone. They're going to undo our business success. They're going to undo our public safety success. They're going to undo our education success, and they're going to undo standing for parents. This is what's on the ballot, and that's why I'm encouraging everybody, get out and vote.
And Governor, you have been passionate, and if things don't go the Lieutenant Governor's way, they cannot blame you. No one's worked harder. President Obama came out. It shows that the Democrats have to be concerned about this election. And this is what he said, the exact opposite of what you said you accomplished. Either he missed it or won't give you credit for it. Listen to this, cut 26.
Virginia, here's the good news. If you can't visit a doctor, don't worry. He will save you a dance. And if you don't get an invitation to the next White House shindig, you can always watch the festivities and all the beautiful people on Truth Social. The point is, there is absolutely no evidence Republican policies have made life better for you, the people of Virginia.
Well, he doesn't want to debate you, but I'm sure you have a counter to that.
Yeah, well, he's so disconnected from what's been happening in Virginia over the last 4 years. It was, in fact, the Democrat policies in a Democrat-controlled state, because they had the governor's office, the lieutenant governors, the attorney generals, and they controlled both houses that had dragged Virginia to a place we've never seen. Literally, Virginia had no job growth. Virginia had no business growth. In fact, we had 25,000 small businesses shut in 2021. And as I said, we had a 20-year high in murder rate as they had a criminal first, victims last approach. They demeaned and demoralized law enforcement. And finally, they were leaving our kids, literally our kids out to dry. They had dumbed down all expectations. We led the nation in learning loss, and they were telling parents that you have no say in what should be taught in our schools. And we have turned everything around where Virginia is leading today. So, listen, President Obama is incredibly disconnected from what's happening in Virginia. He was just carrying whatever talking points they handed him. And at the end of the day, Virginians like what we've been doing. They like what we've been doing. They did not like what the previous Democrat-controlled Virginia was doing, and that's what's on the ballot. Do we want to go back to what they were doing, which was dragging Virginia a place we couldn't recognize, or do we want to continue great policies that are leading to great outcomes for the state? And I just look at this as 4 more years for Winsome Sears and Jason Miyares and John Reed, our lieutenant governor, coming under the team, or going back to what we had. And I guess finally, Brian, this is a moment for us to have some real clarity on decency. And what Jay Jones, who's the Democrat candidate for Attorney General, tweeted and then texted and then came back and said is that he wanted to put 2 bullets in the head of his political rival. He wanted to see his political rival's children die in his mother's arms, and then he wanted to see a few cops die as well. And this is disqualifying from anybody serving in any position.
Yep.
And this has changed everything. Even the Washington Post came out last night and said that the human decency is on the ballot, and Virginians need to stand for human decency and elect a ticket that can stand for this. Now, think about this. The Washington Post said this. And so I think Virginians, particularly Virginians in the middle, who are trying to decide which kind of Virginia do you want? One that stands for decency and progress and opportunity, or one that literally is backing a guy who wants to put bullets in his political rival's head and see his children die? I think it's that clear. That's why everybody's got to get out and vote.
Lieutenant Governor Winsome Sears, your partner, who's done so well for the last 4 years, trailing by about 5 or 6 votes in the real clear average. Of points in the real clear average. She's of Jamaican descent, became a naturalized American citizen and a U.S. Marine. And I'm just wondering if this statement still holds up for Barack Obama, because here's what he said about voting for Kamala Harris in 2024.
So if you don't mind, just for a second, I'm going to speak to y'all directly and say that when you have a choice that is this